still echoing, or is it better?
Nope, you're good. And we are on the air.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, everybody. What's going on? I'm assuming we're on the air now. We'll see what's going on here. We got a ton of people. I know you guys have been out there chatting and giving me shit for
an hour
now.
Gunpowder was, the rest of us weren't.
Yeah, right. You know what? I believe that. If you'd have said anybody else, I'd have said, you know what? That sounds like BS. But she probably was out there trying to gather up people with pitchforks and torches, huh? Come and get my ass. But yeah, so basically we were running real late. We took the little man to the zoo. Had a really good time. Did like a little had an adventure day out, right? Did the zoo and did a little safari ride and took him into the petting zoo, and we just had a blast. Had a really good day, and then we scooted over to shoot a little bit, and I finally got the AR out and the AK. Shot the AK because I had to. They both had red dots on them that had never been shot in, so I didn't get a whole lot of shooting in. I think I put 20 rounds through the AR and like 10 through the AK just to get them sort of combat sighted. I didn't have a rest with me or anything like that, so I was just doing the old lean on the tree thing. But everything worked. Everything was nice. So it was fun to shoot a little bit. That gunpowder smells good after a while, you know. You forget that smell. You rattle one round off, and you're like, oh yeah, that's right.
A little burning sulfur going on for you.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, it was, and it was hot, and it was humid, and it really sits in the air. You know what I mean? So you rattle one or two rounds off. It's funny. It just made me smile. I was like, oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, I love the smell of gunpowder in the afternoon.
I know it, man. I know it. You know, and a brand new gun, first rounds through it, brand new red dot. You know what I mean? Holy shit, you can't get better than that,
Not much
right?
better than that, man.
I know.
What'd you go with for optics on that? What'd you put on the top? Did you go Vortex or what?
Yeah. So basically, I had a Vortex strike fire on my AK.
Yeah.
I took that off and put it on the AR.
Yeah.
And then I bought the Vortex Crossfire, the new one that they came out with, the red dots. Real simple red dot.
Mm-hmm.
Just has on and off, but it's like 10 power levels. And you know, I have that on the AK. You know, and I was only about, I don't know, 30 yards away, something like that. Pretty close. Just like I said, kind of just to get it close. But the AR shot great, and I sent 20 rounds through that. I have 3 different mags. I shot all 3 mags just to make sure they fed well, and it's nowhere near tested. You know what I mean? But and the wife shot the AR a little bit too. She shot 5 rounds out of it. She never shot an AR either. That's actually the first time I ever shot an AR. Crazy. I mean, it's all these years I've been all these years I've been shooting. I never shot an AR. When I was young, it wasn't like it is now. It wasn't as popular. You know what I mean? It was not everybody had one.
Too, man.
Yeah, and not everybody had one. And then when I went and bought a rifle, I bought an AK instead of an AR. So, you know, when I bought my AR or my AK, I just at the time didn't have any buddies that I shot with on a regular basis that would bring theirs out or not. So yeah, so that was the first time. So it was fun. It functioned great. It was nice. Very, you know, it was really accurate. I'm super happy with it. It'll be nice to see it off a bench. You know what I mean? Once I
do you have to use a riser for either one of your red dots?
I have on my AR, I put the cantilever mount so that I can co-witness. It's a 1/3 co-witness mount.
Okay, cool.
And then on my AK, I don't. I have it just flat down on the rail.
Okay.
So, yeah. Which when I had my strike fire on my AK, I did it the same way. I had it flat down as low as it could go. And so when I moved it over to the other rifle, I had to buy another mount for it. So, yeah. But I love it. I mean, I like them both. I mean, I have no issues with them, but either of them. And the Crossfire is really, really simple. You know, it's smaller, so it's kind of nice. It fits on the AK better. It's not as big. And then the wife shot a couple of mags out of her 938. So that's really cool too. She got a little shooting in. We didn't have a whole lot of time, and we were kind of rushed it, but you know, we haven't been out in forever. So it was good to get out nonetheless.
Did little man go to the range with you?
He went. We actually were up at camp. We didn't go to range. We were up at camp. So yeah, he waited back with my wife while I shot, and then and then she shot the AR. And then when she shot her pistol, we took him up a little bit closer. But yeah, we had his earmuffs on, and he was good. He was fine. So
You liked it?
He liked it because we liked it. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You know, we were excited, and it was like, oh, watch mom. But he was playing with some toys and stuff like that we had just bought for him at the gift shop at the at the zoo. So, but it was good because he's had a lot of hearing issues. He's on his second set of tubes, so we were worried that it might upset him. And he put his muffs on and he was good. So that was cool. So we know that we can kind of make it a family thing with him and from here on out. So yeah, which is really cool. So. Your
AR, is that the 18-inch mid-length PSA? Is that what you bought?
I have the 16-inch. It's a carbine.
Okay.
Yep. It's the stainless heavy barrel, and it's got Magpul all the way around, and it has the AC. Is it the ACS stock? It's the stock with the compartment on it.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah, it felt good. And I was happy with the accuracy. I mean, it was like I said, I was like 30 yards away and I was resting, but I wasn't sitting. I was just sort of resting up against a tree. I was, like I said, I only shot like 15, 20 rounds through it, but yeah, I was happy with it. I just wanted to get it to the point where, if I do go to the range or, the zombies show up, that I know I'm okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, got a bunch of people in here, right? This is awesome. Like I said, I'm sorry I'm late. We were running late with that. And then I took the little guy upstairs to put him to bed, and my wife was getting ready downstairs. And one of our dogs, she must need her nails clipped or something. She went to scratch her face, apparently, and caught her eyelid and actually dug her nail. Yeah, it was, oh my God. She started screaming, the dog, not my wife. I was telling little guy a story, and man, the dog started screaming and he got upset, and I had to come downstairs, and it was a mess. Yeah. So we had a little adventure with that too.
Was there blood?
No, I don't think so. No, I think she just literally kind of caught but their nails curl a little bit, so she couldn't get it out. I think it sounds worse than it was. You know what I mean? Like, it sounds horrible, but I think she's okay.
It sounds pretty bad.
Yeah, doesn't it? It sounds horrible. She did it once before, I think. They kind of paw their face sometimes, and she just caught one of her. Is that the dew claw? I guess it is the one on the inside, and caught it in her eyelid. So, yeah, I got to get down there and clip those nails, I guess. So wife says yes, a little blood. Okay, well, sorry.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, So let's say how you doing, what's up, and hellos. We'll go left to right. Ape, I saw a bunch of your family members today.
Somehow I doubt that. All my family members are smart enough to stay out of captivity.
I don't know. I got here. This guy was even on a wanted poster. I don't know if you can see that. You see that guy?
No, all I can see is your ugly mug.
Yeah.
You gotta go to the other side.
Yeah.
I can see it in mine. How's that? See that guy?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, a little goatee. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So we saw him just in case. I mean, in case you're looking for him. I didn't know what his name was though. But so what's up? What's going on, man? What's new and unusual?
I don't know. This is my first day off in 14 days. So
that sucks.
Oh well. Makes the IRS happy.
Yeah, right. As long as they get theirs, huh?
Yep. Actually, I finally found some Aguilas.
Ooh, mini shells.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every time somebody talks about those, they always say how hard they are to find. Where did you pick them up at?
Where did he pick these up? I think these were at a Fleet Farm. Just cute little buggers, ain't they?
And have you used those in what are you using them in?
I haven't used them in anything yet. I'm just going to try them in my Shockwave, and if they don't work, these buckshot shells that are, what are they? 7 number 4 buck and 4 number 1 buck. So I got a cheap ass H&R brake action that I keep around for pest removal. So
Do you have that little adapter thingy to go in your Shockwave?
not yet. I figured I'd try it without it first and then go from there, because I keep read kind of conflicting reviews of people saying, well, it worked fine in mine, and then some people said, oh, you need the adapter, and back and forth. So
yeah, I've heard it. Yeah, I've heard the same thing. Like, just one person says they run fine, the next person says they can't run them worth a shit. And it's hard to say. I didn't know they made any. What does the adapter do? Is it just like
it's
help the follower? Is it like a longer follower so that it?
No, it's for the Mossberg. You know, their extractor is their shell elevator is kind of skeletonized. Hold on a second here. I actually have, because I had to go visit some family, so I actually got my last gun out of my dad's safe, and that's a Mossberg right here. See if I can take this apart without dumping everything.
Well, let's go. We'll go to the next one. We'll come back.
Go.
Oh, you got it? Okay, good.
Yeah. Just let me get my screen up here so I can. Okay, you kind of see how this is just open here.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
From what it looks like, the shell adapter just basically kind of hooks onto here and makes it so the mini shell can't go back farther. Because that's where most of the issues I've seen has been, like, where the shell will, instead of going in straight, can like tip up or tumble one way or the other. So,
All right, Frankie C, what's going on, Hotshot?
Well, not much. Just spent an entire Sunday, out of the house, walking, doing stuff. It was great.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. It was hot. It was hot up here. We were hitting the mid-90s up here, so we were sweating running around out there petting the animals. But
yeah, I think we hit about 95.
Yep, that's where we were at too.
It was terrible. The husband wanted to go to Kings Island. I'm like, no. At least this way we can take some breaks. I can still get in some air conditioning and stuff like that. Going to Kings Island would put me out there in the heat all day. I'm like, I'm going to whine and he's going to get annoyed. We're not doing it.
There you go. Nip it in the bud before it becomes an issue, right?
Exactly.
There you go. That's smart thinking. So, Mr. Ghost, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on? Thanks for having me, man. You doing all right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no problem at all. Gizzard?
Yes, sir.
What's happening?
Well, see, I kind of had a altered schedule this week. Ended up going to see my daughter today, and took her and her husband out to lunch and spent some time there, and come back here, and that's pretty much it for Sunday. Got to go to work tomorrow, unfortunately. So this is the end of my weekend. So make it a good
Yeah.
week.
So you got to go to work tomorrow, huh?
Yeah.
That bums. I mean, you work at a nuclear power plant. It's not like you really have to be on your A game or anything, right?
Yeah, we're just protecting the health and safety of the public is all. It's no big deal.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got to keep things into perspective. I mean, what's the worst that could happen, right?
Yeah, right.
Couldn't do any worse than Homer Simpson.
That's
They
true.
don't let me touch any of the real controls, though. I have tried. They won't let me.
You're
It would be
glowing object certified.
No, I'm not. Not anymore.
it would be funny the next time they come in to do like a real super official, inspection make sure everything's running smooth and you guys are doing what you're supposed to do. If you just run up to the guy and be like, "Hey, look, I'm Gizzard. How you doing?" Be like, "Oh shit! What the hell? What's this guy here for? This guy's a janitor, right?"
Janitor? Why?
Like, hell no! I push all the buttons and turn all the knobs I can.
No, I'm the safety inspector for Sector 7337. What's your name, Gary? Then how come your name says Trevor?
He's like, "I don't taste any radiation. We're good. We're good."
Tell you what, we need midnight out there because our cafeteria food's kind of on the awful side. So, can you do anything about that?
Sure, you get me the big bucks, man. I'll take that. I'll take that government money.
More salt and more MSG.
We don't get government money.
Okay, well then, whatever. Give me whatever the hell money you got.
Start packing some Banquet's Salisbury steak, and you're good to go.
There you go. Yep.
They usually bring stuff in on the Cisco truck, and that's what we get. So.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Gunpowder. What's going on, Gunpowder Beauty?
Well, I was trying to fight with my kids to get them to sleep, but your show started and they just passed right out, so it was pretty awesome.
It happens.
It does that.
That's not unusual at all. No.
There's a reason I call him the closer.
Unloading our storage unit today, so got my workout for the day. Gonna go back at it tomorrow, and then we're taking our first full vehicle of pretty much my crap to Michigan probably Wednesday.
So that's
moving
what, like 30-hour drive for you?
It'll be 34 round trip. We're leaving Wednesday, and then we'll be back after we drop off. We're heading back on the road, so it's going to be a really long road trip.
You can't get it knocked out in one trip?
No, I have way too much crap. I don't know what kind of girl you think I am, but I have way more than just one Dodge full.
You weren't able to persuade Mr. Matt to let you have his National Education Association trailer?
I didn't know Mr. Matt had one of those trailers.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does.
That sucker's got walls on it, painted. It's because they were supposed to move up north and they didn't move.
Yeah, he made it all the way up to Nebraska, I believe, didn't he? And then turned around.
Yeah.
No, they made it as far as Wichita, or they were. Yeah, they got as far as Wichita, and then they turned around.
Yeah. The wifey had a change of heart.
Yeah.
It's got a big black. It's got NEA on the side.
With this.
Yeah, he's rocking and rolling in that bitch. I think you guys could get it all. You just got to each drive your own truck. Each of you take your own truck, and each of you take one of the kids, and you'll be good to go.
He could get RL to bring some stuff in his truck. You can probably get it all in one load.
That's who I need. I need to talk to RL and be like, "Listen, dude, I need you to make a trip to Texas."
If you need a spare driver, I can help out.
Yeah, this guy's good. As long as you got the rumble strips, no big deal.
No. You need
that's how I stay awake at night.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does have a purpose other than waking you up?
Pissing off.
Yeah, if you can't see, yeah, they
road.
Oh.
I've made the trip several times.
Either that, or you got to wrap the truck in Nerf. One or the other.
No. Nerf's too expensive. You got to find something free like soiled mattresses and tires.
There you go.
Just go to Walmart. One of those big rolls of
Gunpowder, have you spent any time up in cold climate at all? Have you been outside of Texas at all?
Not for any length of time. We've gone to Michigan for like a week.
Okay.
Here and there, but it's usually in the summer. So no, I haven't experienced that kind of cold.
Buy several coats.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do a super chat fundraiser for coats now. I think it's.
Oh, don't let them lie to you. It doesn't get cold up in Michigan. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I know it gets cold. I'm gonna build like a 50-foot snowman. The first.
I haven't seen it snow up here in years.
Probably gonna be the worst winter in like 50 years.
There you go.
What's a little frostbite? It's not a big deal. They can cut those toes off.
Gunpowder, all you need to do is just.
You've got 10. As long as you've got your pinky toe and big toe, you're fine.
Yeah, that's
just
true.
Get a couple miles out into the lake, cut a hole in the ice, jump in, stay there for about 10 minutes, and you'll be immunized for, I don't know,
You'll be
however long you can hold your breath.
My only recommendation is wherever you guys settle down, for God's sakes, please buy a snowblower, because shoveling snow is the only thing I don't like about wintertime. That's it right there.
Yeah,
My
you know,
husband do it, but it's not fun.
I don't have to worry about shoveling snow where I'm living now, because the complex I live in, they do it for you.
Yeah. Well, yeah. If you get any kind of a house, though, and you got sidewalk and stuff, but yeah.
I don't have any problems with it. You turn the radio on so you can find the garage, and I don't get lost.
Yeah.
We've got a 15 or 16-year-old sister and stepbrother, so that's their job. So I'm excited. I'll throw them like $20. Be like, hey, here, I'll give you $20, and we'll go to Starbucks. It's totally fine. Just go clear the driveway.
You'll like it, man. The fall's going to be awesome. 50 degrees, 60 degrees is so nice. Low humidity. Oh, it's unreal.
Just remember to drive
excited
slow.
for the summers, because we've had 106 and 108 so far.
You guys are gonna love it.
Gunpowder. Remember this: there you are bordering on communism state. So be careful. Just be careful.
I can open carry all day. Can you imagine how Michigan is going to look at me when I'm carrying a full-size 1911? It's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
you guys need to be a tactical snowman.
You have much better gun laws here.
Yeah, there's no problems.
Yeah. PA's even, I think, even a little bit more lax, a little better than Michigan, I think.
Well, especially if everyone turns out Tuesday and for the primaries, you're doing fine.
Say to that comment. What's a permit?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Constitutional carry there for Rich, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Rich is always showing off. Doesn't it bother you? Jesus. I mean, I'm so awesome all the time. Patriots next. Patriot, what's going on, buddy?
Just living the good life. Nothing. I pawned the daughter off. She's sleeping at a couple friends are staying somewhere else. I had them a couple days ago, and it was enough. So I'm just
they're
enjoying
like
Michigan.
14, right? 14-ish?
No, she's 10.
Oh, 10.
Yeah, but yeah, just as bad.
Yeah.
I have one question. Are you sure they're just not being quiet and trolling you?
Yeah, I'm sure. They can't fool me. They don't. They're not that sneaky.
They can't be that quiet, huh?
They can't hold their breath that long.
Yeah. Rich White, what's going on, buddy?
Yeah, not much. Just had my show earlier, sent out links, and nobody showed up. Apparently because one person went to the zoo.
I know. I'm sorry. I did see I got a link. I got my phone was blowing up today. I don't know what the hell you guys were doing on the YouTubes all day today, but my phone went nuts, man. I pulled my phone out of my pocket in between the zoo and shooting, and I got stuff from Budget. I got Sarge. I got all sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah, I don't know, man. It was nuts. Today was a busy day on the YouTubes, huh?
Are you on Instagram at all or not?
Me? No.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah,
I keep saying I'm gonna. I don't know. I just don't have enough time to keep up with everything. You know what I mean? It's hard. Yeah. I want to try and stay focused as much as I can. I know it's hard, and everybody says, "Oh, you're just on YouTube or whatever."
Today seemed like it was makeup day. I was making up for last night. George made up for last night, and then Budget was making up for Friday.
Yeah. It was weird. I started getting links. I'm like, what the? I was like, was I supposed to get these the other day? They just came through. Yeah, I saw you guys were live. So, Outlaw, what's going down?
Not a whole hell of a lot. I just got home from work. I'm tired, irritable.
The usual, huh?
So normal.
Yeah. Yeah. Ready to choke somebody.
Oh.
Is that what you're calling it now?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm calling it.
Somebody.
Yeah, actually, several somebodies.
Don't say anything too. Don't
we
say
don't
anything
need
too
to hear that.
incriminating.
Yeah,
Does your roommate know that you plan on doing this?
I didn't do it.
No, it ain't the roommates. It's not. It's the idiots I work with.
Don't use real names.
No, I wouldn't.
We don't need to know that Jorge and Georgie pissed you off when they didn't wash their dishes.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish
that's one way of doing it.
Oh, I wish it was that simple.
You can refer to them as asshole number 1 and asshole number 2 if you have to.
Or I just could say lousy, no good for nothing fry cooks. Oh wait,
hey.
Somebody in here.
Hey. I'm gonna I'll hit the eject button. I'll send you out of here like Batman. Boing.
He didn't say head chefs.
He's a fry cook.
He said the fry cooks, the line cooks. You know, the guys that don't ever show up on time.
I lost
Just be careful, Ellis. If he does hit the eject button, make sure that you don't get your head hit on the top of the canopy. We don't need another goose action here. Maverick needs to keep his partner.
If I get hit in the head, I'm going to be fine. Okay, that's the hardest.
That's what Goose thought. That's what Goose thought.
Yeah. Goose. Well, they're coming out of the new one, so maybe Goose made it and we just don't know.
Ooh, that's an interesting twist right there.
Yeah,
but isn't it Air Force instead of Navy this time?
He did work on ER, so he could have fixed himself.
That's true. Maybe he's a zombie.
There you go.
I was actually so stressed out at work tonight that I got on YouTube and I needed something to watch that would relax me. So I went and looked up the Marine Silent Drill Team because I could watch that shit forever and it's just cool as shit.
Oh yeah.
If you've never seen it, you need to watch that because those guys are amazing.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, it's cool. Do they still use Garans or are they? What are they?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they Garand still. Yeah.
I know when my grandpa had his service, they were Garand still. Some of them are M1As, I think, though too. Sometimes they use those.
Well, I mean,
I guess it could be anything.
Have different ones, but the one in Washington, the actual official silent drill team, they all use Grands.
Yeah, I know my grandpa's service was at Fort Indiantown Gap, and they were, I think they had 3. I can't remember if it was 3 or 5 rifle. What do they call Ghost? What's the proper term for those guys?
For what?
The guys that do the gun salute. The people. Yeah, the person. I mean, they're Marines.
I have no idea what I don't know what they're called. Honestly.
Talking about the color guard or the honor guard?
The color guard. Yeah, that's it, right?
That's okay. I thought you were asking me what the people in the silent drill team are actually called. Marines. I don't know.
Honor. Oh yeah, Armament Axis is saying honor guard. Yeah, I blanked out. I couldn't remember what those guys were. Yeah, I think he had. I can't remember if he had 3 or 5. They didn't have 7. But those guys, a lot of people don't know too, that the men. I guess it could be women too. I don't say men, but the people that do the honor guard, that do the 21 gun salute or whatever. I mean, it's not always 21. It's only 21 in like very, very specific instances, I think. They're all there.
Depending on position of the person being honored. Okay.
They're all there on their own time. They're like volunteer their time to do that. So a lot of people, I've heard people say that they've been, or they've heard about people that only had like 3, like my grandpa either had 3 or 5. I know it wasn't 7. And they were like, oh, they only had 3 there. But that's because sometimes it's hard to find people that are available. They're there in their own time. They donate their time. And so, don't give them a hard time. Right.
If
Travis,
anyone's never actually witnessed a 21 gun salute in person before, it's actually quite a sight to see and hear.
Yeah, I did that junior RTC. I was on the honor guard and the color guard, so I got the marched the flags into places. I was one of the rifle carriers on the Color Guard and then Honor Guard. I was one of the salute people. Like whenever we did the laying the wreaths on the graves, like for Veterans Day, Memorial Day, and stuff, we did that. We did a salute with our 22s from the marksmanship team.
Huh. Yeah, it's really interesting to watch. I mean, I've watched G played it on the Daily Gun Show that one time. I sent him a link to a video about the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier back during like Memorial Day or whatever. My aunt and uncle and my cousins took I actually have the letters. She put them in like a sort of a book as part of like a memorial book or whatever for him. The letters that they wrote to them, and they laid a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in honor or in the name of my grandfather after he died. So that was really cool. And, you can write them and ask to do that. So it's really cool.
Yeah, and before anybody asks on the Honor Guard, the reason why we used the 22s instead of the 1903s, which we had working 1903s, I was told when I asked is because 22 blanks were cheaper. So that's why we used the 22s and not the 1903s.
Mel says he owns an M1 Garand because of my Honor Guard service. Do you mean you have you had one so that you could be in the Honor Guard, or because you were in the Honor Guard you got one? If that makes sense how I said that. Travis, what's going on?
Hey man, not much. I appreciate the invite, dude. Cheap plug. Check out my channel on gunchannels.com. It's called Caliber Corner. Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Central Time. Little fun podcast that we do. And my channel on YouTube, Travis P11, and I'm also on all the other networks, Gunstreamer, YouTube, Guntube.org, Gun Channels, like I said before, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that fun stuff. So check it out. Thanks, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
G's down in the Gun Channel side, in the chat down there. So if any, I don't think anybody else is down there. AP were down there. The Gun Snob was down there. Oops, what the heck did I just do? Nothing. G's put a link down in the Gun Channel side for I guess it's a Wikipedia page for the 21 gun salute. He said traditionally they do not use 9mm for honor guards because 9mm is not honorable. There you go. Gun Snob is still down there. He also said today a 21 gun salute is rendered on the arrival and departure of the President of the United States. Very cool. So absolutely. So if anybody else is down there, let me know. We got a ton of people in the chat here. Let me pop this out here. We'll put participant list on here. 9mm, the wife is out there. Armament and Axes, Frankie C. Ghost, Gunpowder, Guns and Glory. What's going on, brother? Melvin Nutt, me, Snob's wife, Stealth Hunter, and yesterday's Pomade. I know Gun Snob was in there too. It's weird. The participant list really doesn't show. I mean, it didn't show Mel. Mel's in there. It didn't show Mel. That's why I never look at that thing. There's always a ton of people missing out of that. But anyhow, so Rob C's there. Zorro's out there. How you doing, guys? General Relativity is out there. I can never spit that out. General Relativity. That's a tough one. Outlaw's talking about work being rough. I was fully staffed in the kitchen this week for 2 days. I am no longer fully staffed in the kitchen.
Let me guess, a dishwasher and a sous chef.
Nope. I haven't had a sous chef. I haven't had a sous chef for.
Well, then you weren't fully staffed.
That's right. Well, I'm talking about cooks. I can run without a sous chef. I'll run without a sous chef. As long as I got cooks and spots, I can live with that for now. I actually have one guy that I'd like to promote, but we haven't done that yet. No, lost 2 cooks. One guy that's been there for a couple of months just decided he was going to stop coming into work. You know how that is. Just decided one day he doesn't want the job, and had another guy start on Monday and come in Wednesday. Before I got there, the boss called me. He said, "Hey, new guy just came in, dropped off his uniform. He said he's going to Alaska to work on a cruise ship." I was like, "Okay." So he took the bolt. He bolted, man. He was there for a couple days and he took off. So,
all right, I want to address the elephant in the room. Just saying.
Yep. Go
now
ahead.
You go through so much hell at your kitchen. Are
Mm-hmm.
you a terrible boss, or is this normal for the food industry?
It's a little bit of both, right? And not that I'm a horrible boss, but it's one of my biggest issues. And you work at a country club, and you probably, even though you're not in food service so much, I know our golf guys, our pros and stuff like that always had a lot to do with food service because we would do events for the members and, golf outings and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The hardest problem is to find people that quote unquote give a shit and that they understand that everything that you do matters. From prep to setup to the way you cook something, the way you plate something, the way you tear down, the way you clean up afterwards, the prep list that you do for the next day. It's like pulling teeth to find anybody that is willing to understand that everything you do matters. And we all get tired and we all have crappy days, right? You know what I mean? And we all do. There's days that I leave and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot to do this or that or the other thing, whatever. But yeah, I have to watch these guys like a hawk. It's horrible. So what ends up happening is because you're constantly on people, if that person is has a real good heart and they put a lot of effort into things and they're a restaurant person, when you nitpick things and you really kind of, you keep on them, they get better. And then 6 months from now, they're kicking ass and taking names. You don't have to bother with them. The other type of person, and this is the type of person that I generally have had here for the past year, for the most part, is people that you nitpick and you try and, you bring up things that they're not doing right. You show them how to do things a couple of times and they're like, this is bullshit. And they go somewhere else to work at a bar or somewhere that just doesn't care. And it's hard because there's more and more places that people can go and they don't have to do a great job because more and more it just seems like it's hard to get people to show up for work. So, most people, like when I was coming up in the industry, I got my ass handed to me and I was constantly being told like if I was doing something wrong, but that made me understand that if I wanted to succeed, I had to do things right. Right. So I'm a different kind of person than most of the guys that I have coming up. Now I've got some guys that are good like that. I got one kid that, like I said, I want to promote. He's been with me for a couple of years. And for the most part, if I tell him he's doing something wrong, he really works hard not to make that mistake again. It's really hard to find people like that. And that's with every industry, I'm sure, except we're running on really, really thin margins and we have a really, really demanding clientele. People notice when something's not right and they speak up and then shit flows downhill. Right. So yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. I had a similar situation when I was working Greyhound. We would get people hired no geography. Right. So not only was I working baggage and janitorial and package express, which was their version of like UPS kind of thing, where they would ship stuff on buses, I was also having to be a geography teacher. And some of these people that we had coming in, they were dumb as a box of rocks. You tell them anything going west goes on the St. Louis bus, right? So what west? Let's see. Is Los Angeles south or west? Because I had somebody asking me, does this go on the DC bus? Which the DC bus was all points south. It's like, no, Los Angeles isn't. Like, oh my, what you're saying? It's just some people you just can't teach. They just because they won't let them both be taught.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. Like you said, what you said, people won't let you teach them, or they don't want to be taught, and that's kind of one of the issues is. And I don't really like to dog generations, and I don't like to say there's nobody out there that's any good because there are good people out there. But 10 years ago versus now, a huge part of it was I had cooks walking in the door looking to work at a good restaurant and looking to go to a place where they could learn and work for somebody that they could learn from, just like I did. I mean, I had some really good chefs, and some of them were hard asses, and some of them literally I've said this before, when I was working banquets, banquet prep or whatever, and you'd be taking things off of a tray or you'd roast something in the oven, whatever it is, pieces of something, it doesn't matter, and you're putting it on a serving tray and you're doing it with one hand. I'd have the sous chef would walk up and he'd be like, "You got two hands, right?" Like, yeah. He'd be like, "Well, why don't you use them both and get that shit banged out, get that shit done." Dude, if I did that to people now, they'd be like, I have people go to the owner and be like, "Trust me, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's going on." He's like, he's always telling me I'm doing stuff wrong. And he's like, "What's he telling you you're doing wrong?" He's like, "Well, you said I didn't do this right, do that right." He's like, "Did you do it that way?" He's like, "Well, yeah." He's like, "Well, that's wrong. He's telling you to do your job right." He's telling he's
Man, and that's ridiculous. You see that a lot these days or not? Because
yeah.
I heard something kind of shocking that bosses are complaining because parents are calling management asking for like a callback for their kids that go in for job interviews. Moms and dads are calling for kids that are out of college in their 20s to make sure their kids can come back for like another interview or demanding a callback for their kid. It's like, well, are you kidding me? Good
You
God,
know why?
people. That is terrifying, man.
Yeah, my kids, they applied for jobs somewhere. Me and my wife are telling them, sometimes you have to call them back. You don't just put an application in and expect them to call you. Give them a week. If they don't call you, call them.
Yeah.
See what's going on?
These people are having their parents call, though. It's
well, you know why?
No, I don't. I'd love to know why, actually.
It's so that they don't have to.
When I was a kid,
So they don't have to evict them when they're 30 years old, still living in your basement.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. That you've seen that a couple months ago.
Yeah, that dude tried to sue his parents for
kicking him out. Yeah.
Oh my God, are you kidding me,
dude? How embarrassing is that? But that's a crazy extreme example of could you imagine how embarrassing that would be to be famous for?
But yeah, I mean, there are a lot of people that live with their parents. And that's one thing to be living with your parents because you can't afford a house or an apartment, but it's another when, you went viral because you sued your parents because they don't want you living with them anymore.
And I don't want to, like I say, I'm not trying to bitch about everybody. I'm not trying to say everybody sucks and the work pool is worthless, but it's always been a very cooks and servers are like mercenaries, right? They want to go where they can make the most money and make in as little work as possible, and that's understandable. That's kind of what we all want, right? Like we all eventually want to have a nice squishy job, but this is still an industry where you can't do that if you don't put the work in when you're young. I'm not supposed to be working 6 days right now, and I am, and I have been for the past year. I mean, straight. If the restaurant's not closed, I'm there, and it's not supposed to be like that. I'm pushing 40. I've put in a lot of time and pushed aside a lot of family and friends and that kind of obligations so that I could get somewhere. So that I didn't have to do that, right? That's kind of what we do. We work when you're young, so hopefully, you get a nice spot when you're older. And the whole idea is that you have these people under you that are with you and they're on your team. And it's not like that. It's really, really hard to find that now. It's years ago, you saw a lot more chefs that had guys that would follow them or guys that really wanted to work with somebody, and I've had that. I've had people say that. I've had people walk in and be like, I've met people at competitions, I've done competitions, and usually some of the culinary schools will send send students to do like prep and be like your sidekicks and stuff. I've had kids, young cooks, walk in after those and be like, "Hey, I really liked working with you. I want to work here. Can I work here?" And that's an attitude that's really quickly being lost, because people are they want to make as much money as possible without worrying about the knowledge, and there's a lot of knowledge to be had, and you need a lot of knowledge. People say, what's the difference between a chef and a cook? I one of my most fun answers, or one of the answers that I like it the most, people say, what's the difference between a chef and a cook? And it's like, we both make mistakes, but you don't know when the chef makes a mistake, as a customer. And that kind of thing is really important. And you only get to be able to handle yourself appropriately, in the middle of chaos with years of knowledge and experience. G saying it's ironic to hear a guy complain about his employees complaining. Yeah.
A lot of this reminds me of the Occupy movement. Remember when they would interview these people and they thought they should have a corner job just as soon as they graduate college? They didn't want to do the work. They just wanted the corner office all of a sudden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, I came out of school. I did a semester at culinary school. I went to a place, a country club, spa resort, and did an internship for the summer. I went back and finished, and I went back afterwards. She says I'm about 3 minutes from emailing my mom. See if she can call midnight to complain about stuff. The biggest thing is I started at the bottom, right? And you learn everything you can and work your way up. And I don't think you can appreciate. Another issue is you can't appreciate the people at the bottom unless you've been there too. Truly, a lot of people don't realize that they come out and if they have a position handed to them, they don't appreciate that dishwasher. They don't appreciate the prep cook. They don't appreciate that busboy. And that's a shame. I think. I think it's a shame to not appreciate or understand the people that are just as important, to making the guest have a great experience. So, I don't know. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm done bitching now.
I read an article this week that said that the construction was hurting because millennials are not going into that field.
Yeah, labor industries. I think I saw something about that too. What did they call it? They called it, I guess, labor industries, where it's physical labor industries. It's, I don't know. It's not anything I've ever done research on as far as other professions. I do know we talked about it a month or two ago about millennials with their dining habits and their so much more likely to not tip and to skip out on bills and stuff like that. I don't know. It's
Uber riders are also like that.
Who is?
Uber riders.
Oh.
You get these teenagers and millennials, no tipping jerks, can't tell you where in the heck they want to go. Stupid people.
You mean like in Dot's video the other day?
I watched a few of them. He cracks me up.
And getting back to Frankie's point, Mike Rowe and John Ratzenberger, Cliff from Cheers, the two of them talk about the whole deal with millennials not wanting to get into construction and all that. And John Ratzenberger in particular talks about how a lot of it he thinks, and from what he's seen, because he has a foundation to help get this back into schools, is the fact that you don't have like wood shop and metal shop and stuff like that in school anymore, teaching these kids how to do this kind of stuff. So when they get out of school, they don't want to do it because they never had exposure to it to begin with.
Oh, you do. We do at the high school that I teach at. We've got a lot of vocational education programs at our school.
Yeah, but not all high schools do. Some of them have kinds of programs, and he's got a foundation trying to get that back into the schools.
Yeah,
but they've cut it because some have had to cut it for financial reasons and whatnot.
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with testing, making the cut on the scores. That's become, unfortunately, the focus of a lot of schools. Mm-hmm. But I mean, those schools are out there. But we're very rural, also, so we do have that kind of space and that opportunity for kids.
Here in the city that we're in, the high school that Tardot and I went to, they have one, and a kid cut his thumb off. And common sense is something that a lot of, it's not just millennials, it's a lot of people have lost in work ethic, along with so many other things. But common sense could really go a long way if people would just use it. And when it comes to shop, don't put your finger near the blade, and it's not going to be such a scary class.
Don't put your finger next to the blade. Don't stand behind someone using the table saw. And when the middle teacher tells you, hey, don't have any pants with fringes on it or tattered, don't wear tattered pants. They will catch on fire.
Put your hair in a ponytail, that kind of stuff. It can really save you from some pain.
Shall not have fringes, right?
Yeah, shall not have fringes.
Down in the Gun Channels chat, G's saying, in my opinion, independent restaurants today have more potential than ever before, but the same challenge is always to create a good crew. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's really, really hard. I would say right now it's probably the hardest I've ever seen it for a single owner restaurant or a single restaurant owner to really succeed. If you don't own multiple restaurants, it's very, very difficult, more so than ever. And a lot of that, and I'm not attributing all that to labor, other than labor costs. A lot of it is food costs. Cost of goods is really rough. The little guy's crying. Oh. I don't have an exact number on percentage that things have gone up, but it's pretty high. There's quite an increase in cost of goods, as far as not so much overhead, but your food you're bringing in, paper goods are really expensive nowadays. I mean, and it's something that's hard to keep up with when you go through these periods of really big increases, where something might come up for something out of the ordinary, Brussels sprouts or something stupid. You know what I mean? 5 years ago, I'd get a case of Brussels sprouts for $20. They are now they actually shot up about a month ago. I couldn't believe it, to $70 a case. They have come down a little bit. They're in the high 40s, low 50s. But that is a huge difference in a matter of a few years. You can't, if a few things do that on your menu, things that are, that are staples, things that you can't adjust, you can't get rid of, then you have to try and price adjust. And price adjusting an increase, you get a lot of sticker shock. You get, it's a real tight ball game to play. What do you raise? You raise $1 on this or $1 on that. You hope you don't piss anybody off. And it's always justified, to us anyway. We go through numbers and we look at what sales are. And there's obviously some things that you don't make a ton of money on. They're called loss leaders, things that are really good, really popular, that you might not make a great percentage on, but you need to have them because they're, they're good for business. That's one of the things that's really hurting private businesses. And I see tons of them close. G says you save costs and back portion control and waste. Absolutely. Oh, huge. And he's saying there's value the core tenets, service and quality. Absolutely. And that's what we try and do. Not every restaurant, but that's what we try and do. At our place is, if it's not right, it doesn't go out, that kind of thing. It's just, it's a struggle, and labor on top of it being higher. It's hard to make things from scratch. It's used to be a no-brainer that you made everything in-house years ago. And as labor has gone up and cost of goods has gone up, that actually, that obviously makes it harder and harder. And that's why a lot of places draw in from, U.S. food, Cisco, Feasers, whoever it might be. He's saying that's the chains create systems so they can hire idiots, but that's the advantage of independent. Yeah, we are able to, as an independent restaurant, you're able to call your own shots, right? But a chain has the ability to spread the wealth and spread the hurt, the good times and the bad times, as it were, over many outlets, and that's a big deal. And nowadays too, with insurance and things like that, we've been, the owners have been really working hard to try and get some kind of insurance in the restaurant for employees, and it is brutal expensive. The cost that you would have to pass on for the employees to get it is it's astronomical, and it just makes it impossible. Whereas you look at somewhere that has thousands of employees, it's far more inexpensive. So private restaurants really have a harder time. Many of them have a harder time giving a great package to employees. And it's not just that they're making maybe $1 less, but larger place, corporate, quote unquote, tends to have a better package to offer employees, where it's like, time off, 401k, that kind of stuff. A lot of small restaurants just can't do that. So, you more rely on people wanting the knowledge. Like I was saying earlier, okay, well, I'm making $1 less, but holy shit, I get to work with this guy and he's awesome, and I'm going to learn a lot. And then in a couple of years, I'm going to be a sous chef, and then, I'm going to be able to, go to another awesome restaurant, stuff like that. You're not going to learn that opening up bags and reheating food. And, so I don't know. There's a lot of, I've said a lot. So if anybody else, G's down there chiming in, but if there's anybody else that has anything to say, let her rip, man. We can talk about this. I know nobody else is really in food industry other than Ellis, but if you have anything to say about it, homie, go ahead.
I worked in a bar when I was younger. They had a restaurant, and they didn't have as much turnover as you, but we didn't have as big of a menu either, probably, because we were mostly like burgers and fries and onion rings and tortillas and stuff like that, bar food. So I really don't have much that I can comment on that, because I was like I was doing busboy and sometimes bouncing for the bar part, but I was actually working in the kitchen. But their turnover there didn't seem as high. I don't know if it was because the menu was easier.
Yeah, a lot of it's hard. It's hard for me to even put a lot of things into words, because so much of it is so much of an employee, the relationship an employee has with their job. It's different with restaurants. It's you get a much more emotional relationship, because if you're good, if you like what you do, you're putting a lot of your effort, your heart and soul into what you do and what you cook, the food that people eat. It's a little bit different if, rather than, some of the other industries out there that people are in where it's just like, I just crunch numbers. They don't mean nothing. I don't care. You know what I mean? You do a great job and you make a great living and you like what you do and that's awesome. But it's not necessarily an emotional thing. And, it's just, you can hop from one job to the other, doing the same thing because all you're doing is numbers or, whatever. With a restaurant, you get really, really attached, and it's much more emotional. So it's definitely a little bit different.
One thing, this was like 20 years ago, so
yeah,
for mindset
a lot.
Avoid it like the plague.
It's tough, man. I mean, I'm the last person that's going to say don't get in it, but because we need good people. But at the same time, if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. Just like anything else, just like any other job or a car. Like sometimes you go to buy a car and you're like, I'm going to get this. This thing's awesome. This thing's awesome. And you go to test drive and you're like, I hate this car. This sucks, man. I don't like anything about it. I don't like the seating position. I don't like whatever. It just ain't for you. And that's how the industry is too. Restaurants. Sometimes it just ain't for you.
I like working in the bar, but I ended up having to quit because I was working 2 jobs at the time. And my main job wanted me to work the same shift as the other job because somebody had quit. So I had to go. They needed somebody to work the shift. Then it was opposite of what I was working, and I was making more money at the other job than I was at the bar. So I had to sacrifice that job. But I actually liked working at the bar because I liked customers. We had a lot of Irish guys coming in who were exchange students going to Pitt. And they were really cool guys to talk to and whatnot. I think that's what I missed most about that job was talking to those guys because how cool they were. And we would go out and we would play softball on the weekends and stuff, and had a lot of fun with those guys.
Yeah. All right. So, if anybody have anything else? If not, we will move on. Because I had Ghost had his chat the other day, and I even emailed Ghost and told him I really liked the chat and I appreciate it. It was the one he did by himself.
You know how to use an email?
You're here, aren't you? Smart ass. All you do is bang.
I thought Mia did all that for you.
No, all you do is you get 2 empty cans and you put some string between them, and as long as it's tight enough, you can email all day long. It's no big deal.
Okay.
It's not that hard.
Sounds like a problem.
So, Ghost Chat was really, really good, and I liked it because he had a lot of people in the chat that had some, difference of opinions, and it was really, really interesting to watch. It's kind of exciting when you have some back and forths with, respectfully. It's always nice, because if it's not, then it just kind of turns me off. But when people are just going at it, and it was about Springfield. It was one of the topics, and I know him and some of the people in the chat were talking about it, and I kind of sort of agree with a lot of things that a lot of different people said. So I wanted to bring it up here a little bit because I wanted to sort of say my part on it. It was a little bit different than Ghost, and just kind of throw it out there. And if we want to talk about it, we can talk about it. If not, we don't have to, obviously. But it was about the whole boycott thing, quote unquote. And I kind of agree. One of the things that I kind of don't agree with Ghost is he talked about he doesn't boycott things. He just doesn't. I think what it is it's a boycott in his own way, but it's not. He doesn't vocalize it to other people. He will not go to a place or not buy something. Which is kind of boycotting, but he doesn't use it he doesn't promote that. He doesn't let other people know. He doesn't, give other people a hard time for doing it, which I think is cool. But the whole thing with Springfield that I wanted to bring up, people said, if it's already at the gun shop, go ahead and buy it. that money's not going to, something nefarious, which I honestly don't, it doesn't really matter to me a whole lot what country it is or whatever. I don't, I guess there's really no way to know where the money's going, if it's going to terrorism or not, for sure. But if it's a Turkish gun and you think it goes to terrorism and you're pretty sure about that, then okay, well, let's stick with that as the premise. If it's at the gun shop and it sells, I would imagine the gun shop owner is going to buy another one, bring it in and hopefully sell that one, bring in another one and hopefully sell that one. I would sort of agree with people that say if you have a used one laying around, if you find a used one, you want to buy it, that's a little bit different. But I think if it's coming from a gun shop, and this is if you are trying to boycott or if you are feeling strongly about this, I don't think you should buy it from the gun shop if it's new. And I know we want to support local gun shops. We want to support our FFLs. I think if that sits on the shelf, they won't order anymore. I think if you go in there and they're like, they have 2 or 3 Springfield sitting in there, and you go in there and you look at them and you tell the guy, you know what, I just got a bad feeling. I don't like what Springfield did. You know what, I'm going to go for something else. And you buy that other gun and you let that gun shop owner know why. Then I think you've educated him a little bit too, as far as trends of his customers, maybe. So I just wanted to bring it up a little bit. Thought it'd be fun to talk about, maybe, without getting, I don't want to say argue, but I thought it would be a fun topic to talk about and maybe get some back and forth. So Ghost, you're here. If you want to start, if you want to have anything to say, let it rip.
Yeah. I mean, and I think what you said about my boycott is I won't buy certain products, and you can call it a boycott, but yeah, I'm one of those people that the decisions that I make in life are mine, and I have my own personal reasons as to why I buy or don't buy certain products. But it's not my responsibility, nor is it my job to put my personal feelings out to the public. That's just me personally. There are people that do that. I have no problem with that. Me personally, it's just my decision. As far as buying a gun, I'm a big proponent of this. Springfield Armory, you can call the Turkish guns, whatever you want to call them. All these guns that are companies that people are trying to boycott or whatever. My biggest thing is if you want a damn gun, go buy the damn gun. And, to hell with anybody that gives me hell over me buying a gun. Me buying a gun that I want, for whatever reason that I want it, I'm still supporting the Second Amendment. And by me buying a firearm, even though it may not be a company that other people like, I really could care less personally. I've got enough friends. I don't need any more. If you don't like the gun that I buy, then don't be my friend. I'm fine with that. I'm going to go buy the guns that I want to buy. If you're out there and you want to buy a gun, go buy the gun. I will say this. I know a lot of gun shop owners, and I'll just use Springfield as an example, what you're talking about. And there's the argument out there that if you're trying to boycott Springfield, but you buy it from the gun shop, you're not really supporting Springfield because that gun's already paid for. The argument is, but they'll buy more. Yeah, they will. They're going to buy more regardless. Most gun shop owners, and this is just the stark reality that I know. I'm not saying across the board, but most gun shop owners I know don't keep up with the politics. They don't keep up with what the public's saying about different gun companies. They're in the business of selling guns. They don't particularly care. They don't make a whole lot of money to begin with on guns. They make their money more on ammo, targets, holsters, accessories, all of that stuff. So most of the gun shop owners that I know don't pay attention to all of what Springfield's doing in the public or in the political arena. They're in the business of trying to make money. So they're going to buy those Springfields. If they can get a good deal on a Springfield, they're going to buy those Springfields because their margin might be a little bit higher than a Smith & Wesson or a Glock or a SIG. If whatever they can maximize their margin and their profits, that's what they're going to do. So my biggest thing is this. I have absolutely no problem. Anyone wants to boycott any company. That is absolutely 100% fine, and I understand it. My whole point is if I personally want to buy a gun, I'm going to go buy that gun, and I'm not giving you hell for anything, so don't give me hell. It's my personal decision, and that's where the whole conversation went on Saturday was, if you want a gun, go buy it. If you're still supporting the Second Amendment by buying a firearm, you may not be supporting a company that other people like, but the bigger picture here is, if you're not going to buy that Springfield, are you going to go buy another gun? If the answer is no, then you're not supporting the Second Amendment at all. So that was my whole point.
Yeah, no, I understand, and I agree with 99.9% of what you said. I do think, if you want to buy it, buy it. I mean, I totally agree with that. I'm not standing here saying that, I think anybody should stand at the gun counter and when somebody picks up.
I know that.
Springfield,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're having this discussion. Yeah.
I just, one of the biggest things for me was, everybody, not everybody's, but the thought that if you buy it, that and that they're not going to replace it with another one. It seems like people, have been trying to disagree with that. And the Springfields I'll tell you what, they're a very, when you see the package, Springfield hard case, 4 mags, auto, mag loader, whatever the hell else they were coming with. For a while, it was like, holy shit. If you were into Springfields and you wanted to buy one, you were like a kid in a candy store. You were getting 3 mags for free and the mag loader and all sorts of other crazy stuff. That was my issue with it. And do I really care that much? No.
Well, I also want to preface my entire statement is I have not bought a Springfield. So I'm just,
right.
Not since that all happened. So I don't want people to think that I'm a Springfield lover. I'm not. I'm just saying that the question came up yesterday was, what do I feel about the boycott? And I think that boycotts are a personal thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what kind of what I meant too. I was like, I don't really care all that much. I just thought it was an interesting topic, and I haven't really talked about it a whole lot. And when it came up in your show again, it sort of kept me thinking about it. I was gonna say,
real quick.
Go ahead.
Ghost, if I see you trying to buy a Sky, you best goddamn believe I'm going to do my damnedest to talk you out of it.
I think I've already done that. It's been well documented on my channel.
If I'm trying to buy a Sky, then something's gone terribly wrong.
Is that your
trying to buy a Sky? And
is that your code that something's wrong? Do you need help if we see you trying to buy a Sky?
Save $50, go buy a High Point.
Well, if you see me buying a Sky on camera, I'm letting you know that's the distress signal. I need help dramatically. I need everyone to come here and help me.
A nice.
The biggest thing with Sky right now is because of all of Travis P11's efforts. When you buy a Sky, they actually just hand you a big bag
of parts to fix it with.
Canvas bag of parts. Yeah. Here, you're going to need these. This is called the Travis P11 bag. It's like a duffel bag with a bunch of parts in it. And when one breaks or you lose it or it falls out in the middle of shooting, you just, reach into the bag, slam a new one in there.
5 or 6 pair of mags so you can try them all to get 1 or 2 that work.
Yeah. Right. Yep. Yeah.
Well, like I said, I didn't start having problems with mine until 3 years into carrying it and 1,000 rounds. I mean, I was putting 100 rounds through it about every other week because it was my carry gun. I wanted to practice with it. I just don't think they're designed for that kind of wear and tear. Because I didn't start having
wore it out if you put 1,000 rounds through it.
Yeah, it's a starter gun, right?
Yeah. I mean, even the Pig 365. That's not designed for more than a magazine.
Yeah. It's a starter gun. It'll get you started. It'll get you shooting. Whatever. I mean, I think one of the rough parts is, a lot of people that buy something like that to start with, and then down the road they sell it. I mean, man, buying a used Sky, that's
well,
scary.
You've got in here. Here's the other part of the selling piece on it is a lifetime warranty, regardless of owner. Somebody's like, "Well, I got a lifetime warranty." It's like, well, it doesn't matter if it doesn't go bang when you need it to.
Yeah.
That's part of my problem with the, I mean, they were fine. They sent me a new slide barrel guide rod that finally fixed my problems,
Slide, guide rod, barrel, sights.
Yeah, basically everything
hammer
short of the serialized frame.
Anything that
I mean, what good's a gun if it's actually broke? I mean, it's in the shop at all times or getting warranty work done,
Yeah.
Yeah. G's in the chat down gun channel. He just said 1,000 rounds through a sky. They're not made for that. Few pocket guns are made for 1,000 rounds. Yeah.
Okay, but here's the deal. If we're gonna say you should be good with your self-defense gun. You should know your self-defense gun. God damn it, it better run when I want it to. I'm sorry. That thing's gonna have to defend my life. And when it didn't go bang, that freaked me out. I'm like, okay. And then I tried another mag, and it wouldn't go bang. And then it would go bang, and it wouldn't chamber the next round. I'm sorry, I disagree. It needs to work. That's its job. All right.
If you can't,
I think we can all just agree that your Fam-Dancy new autoloaders are inferior to a revolver. We all should be walking around with revolvers. What the hell?
Jelsma would have a comment to that because he had a Taurus, 608, where it broke on him at the range. So,
and guns are tools. They can break, they can fail. I get it, but as much as they brag about the materials and the craftsmanship and the engineering that goes into it, it should run more than 1,000 rounds. I'm sorry.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I did my good feed for the day. I talked somebody out of the sky, and they bought a Ruger instead. Made the gun shop more extra money too, because the Ruger was $50 more, so they weren't complaining.
Hey, I'll just say this: I've owned 3. My wife had a purple and black one, and I had a two-tone silver and black one. I picked them up real cheap. They all had frame pins that walked out within the first 100 rounds. I had to get oversized frame pins put in them. They were bought over 3 different time periods. It's just, if you're only going to put 50 rounds through it and hopefully it'll run for you when you need it, more power to you, great. But I'm just saying that if you expect to carry it and become good with that weapon, you expect it to work. That's just all I'm saying. But
the guy that was going to buy it was buying it for his wife. I was like, I didn't stand by and let that one go. She wanted a purple gun. I'm like, listen, ma'am.
So did mine, and I ended up getting her one, and it didn't run worth the damn.
Yeah, I know. I actually told them about your videos series that you did on them too. So you got a plug.
I don't admit it, but None Fancy did a video on one 2 years after I did mine. He did one recently, and I'm not a fan of his channel, but I noticed he did, and he had the exact same problems with me. Failure to extract, failure to go into battery. I mean, it was, he puts a lot of rounds through his guns in his videos. So I'm like, okay, 2-3 years later, they still haven't spent the money in the R&D and perfecting the product, making it better. I'm sorry, I want to support a company that doesn't do that.
They put so many
cost money.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they're not High Point. High Point actually pays attention. They actually fixed some of the issues that they had in the past. But they're just trying to throw out whatever they can at the cheapest price they can and hope somebody buys it.
G's doing all sorts of math down there in the gun channels chat. He's saying 1,000 rounds versus 100 a week, 200 a month, 2,400 a year.
Okay, whatever, you can do it on that. I'm just saying that I did keep track of every time I would go, I put 100 rounds through, and I think I blew 300-400 rounds and just trying to diagnose the problems the thing was having, which is all on video, by the way.
A couple ended up buying an LC9S with the built-in laser, which is a much better gun for the sky, and they only paid $50 more. So,
yeah, we looked at them when they first came out. We were at a gun show, and they had only been out a very short time. And I was like, not buying anything that new. Let's see what let's let the general public run it and see what happens.
Yeah.
The sad thing about Sky is the concept that they brought was genius. Try to get these different colors to bring maybe women to firearms. That was a lot of what they were trying to do for the marketing purposes. They just waited 6 months or a year and fixed the initial problems before they release it instead of rush them into the public. Things might have been different for them, but the initial thought process was great. It's just it didn't work.
I just want to say one thing real quick. Yoder, Texas says Sky is not a SIG. Has he not seen what's going on with the 365s?
Well, that was one of the things I was about to say too. Was I think that issue that you were just talking about, getting something out to the market fast. I think that's becoming a market trend with a lot of manufacturers. And it's to try and keep up with the Joneses, right? get something out new and fast.
Well, it's the same any other market like cars. Car manufacturers release 2 models a year, or 3 or 4 models a year. Sometimes they'll do it in April and in October. Why? Because they feel like the people are going to buy the newest stuff. Well, let's make sure these are good products before we put them out.
Yeah, I think that's. I think that's 100% right. I feel the same way.
Funny you should bring up the car thing, Ghost, because my daughter and I were just talking earlier about cars and recalls on cars. Because my youngest, when she gets her job, she wants to go in and get herself a small little car, and we were talking about making sure they don't have a history of good recalls and whatnot. And that was one of the things we were talking about, how Toyota, they've had a lot of recalls. Ford hasn't had as many recalls as Toyota, and a lot of times it'll be for something small, but go get the car checked out anyway. So I just wanted to throw it out there because basically she brought up the whole car thing. It was just funny because we were just talking about that earlier today.
Well, you're talking about and let's just say a car manufacturer. Let's say you have Toyota and you have Ford. I'm just going to use his names. I'm not saying that they're bad or good or whatever. Toyota, or let's say that they are long lasting. They run forever. They might have an occasional recall, but they take care of them. They do it the right way. They take care of the customer. Then you have car company B, and let's just say it's whatever, Ford, Chevy, whatever. You have a company that doesn't have very many recalls, but you're also sending your car to the shop at least 2 or 3 times a year to fix little piddly stuff. That's the decision you have to make. Do you want to have a gun that you're having to work on constantly, you may not ever be able to use because it's always being worked on, or you want to go with a company that is tried and true, long lasting, lasts forever. Every now and then they come out with an issue with a gun, but they make a recall, they bring them in, they fix them, you never had that problem again. That's just one of those things where I don't know what the answer is. The perfect answer is they make a perfect gun, but there's no such thing.
Yeah, that's my point. I mean, if you got a recall, get it fixed. But a lot of these companies, they don't, like Sky doesn't do the recalls, so people don't realize that there's problems with them. They go to their gun shop and they buy them without knowing that there's anything wrong with it, unless they watch somebody on YouTube like Travis P11 who has done a series of videos on that firearm so they see what's wrong. Even SIG, they haven't done it with the 365, but when the P320 thing came up where it was dropping, SIG jumped on it and got people's P320s fixed where they were drop safe. Sky doesn't do any of that. If you don't have a problem come up with your firearm, you don't know that your firearm has that potential to have something go wrong.
See, that's why I don't.
That's so.
Oop, you roboted there, Ghost. You want to start over?
Oh, I was just going to say that my thing with that is you're right. You're dead on. The issue is if you're going to have issues with a gun, get them fixed. The problem that manufacturers like Sky have, and they have such a bad reputation, is when they do have problems and they don't fix them, that's when you have a problem. I don't have a problem with a gun not working. If the company's going to make it right, they're going to fix it, they're going to take care of the customer, I'm good with that. It's just when they completely ignore the issues. And like Travis said, 2 years later, Nothing Fancy does the same video having the exact same issues. That just shows me right there that Sky has not addressed the problems.
Yeah.
See, that's why before I go to, the grocery store and buy those biscuits that say new and improved, I always watch Travis's, review on those biscuits.
Yes, I probably reviewed those biscuits
because the crackers, I've had some crackers. Because have you ever had a recall on crackers? It's not good.
Goldfish crackers just had a recall 2 weeks ago. They said there was an issue with salmonella possibility.
Well, there was an issue with Peter Pan peanut butter a couple years ago, if you don't remember that.
Yep. The toxic slurry. I remember the senator talking about it. Yep.
What? I didn't even hear about that one.
Yeah.
It's because Peter Pan is an inferior peanut butter. That's why.
Well, yeah.
You shut your mouth.
Dude, skipping natural.
Come on, you can talk.
I used to eat that peanut butter all the time.
Did I start a food chat?
Right?
Oh no.
Peter
See?
Pan is the best peanut butter, period.
Oh my God, this
they're
is
creamy, bro.
this is
Way.
ridiculous.
Peter Pan can't touch Jif.
Jif. Extra
This is
crunchy.
Jif creamy. Skippy Naturals. That's
People have all lost your minds.
Okay.
Then again, look who I'm talking to. The same people that think Slim Jim's a freaking candy bar.
best candy
It
bar
is.
ever.
And what's
Best candy bar.
Hey, listen, okay, it is the best meat candy ever. Okay,
by the way,
This is plain and simple.
best peanut butter for making cookies, believe it or not, the best peanut butter for making cookies is that government shit that you get at the food bank.
Oh yeah. No label. This stuff's perfect.
My stepfather got laid off.
Yep.
Man, this stuff makes awesome cookies.
Same thing with the block of cheese too.
And that government cheese was the best shit ever made.
Yes, it is.
That
Yep.
that government cheese is the best goddamn catfish bait you'd ever want to use.
That's not a bad point. That's good bait.
That was made at the Spam factory, I think.
We used to take cheese, melt it over chicken liver, and use that for bait, and it worked. That's good.
All right, so Midnight Range, I got to ask you a question. What was the devil's advocate side with Springfield that you wanted to bring up? Those people that don't care and do buy the product new, or those people
devil's advocate for me was people that people like the justification of buying it because the gun shops how do I say
paid for it.
I already got it.
Yeah,
Well,
they
the
already
thing
paid
all
for
right.
it. So
Here's my take on it. If people hadn't gotten vocal and the issue was not exposed and it did make a lot of people freak out, Springfield probably would not have changed their viewpoint on that bill that they knew all about the whole time. The IFMA or whatever that they belonged to, they knew what they were trying to preserve their own business and at the expense of a lot of other people. So, I mean, I think it was good that people did get vocal and freak out about it and say, F Springfield and boycott Springfield and this and that, because they turned around 2 weeks later when their sales were probably dropping off and people were criticizing them and they changed their stance on that bill, coming out saying that they were ill-informed about the bill. They didn't realize the ramifications of it, even though there's like 4 people that sit on the committee that voted for it. So that Illinois House bill or whatever it was that they were trying to push through.
yeah, I didn't like. One of the things I didn't like is that they kind of played dumb a little bit. Yeah. And
they were just trying to.
Oh, it was our lobbyist, and he was the one that made the decision or something. I forget exactly what he said.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
If you're donating $1 million a year to somebody, you best to know what the hell they're voting on and what that bill is going to do to you. You can't be that ignorant, or maybe they were. I don't know. And then they had their media campaign where the guy came out and made the video saying, "Oh, we've always been in favor of the Second Amendment."
Well, and that's one of the things too is I'm a big proponent of if you make a mistake or you screw something up, it's to kind of own it too a little bit. I mean, if I'd have felt, and this might not be a good business decision. So you definitely have to. I'm sure they weighed the options too. Play stupid or kind of say. That we didn't know, or oh shit, we screwed up. We made a mistake, and you know what? We were wrong, and we're not. We understand what we did, and we're not going to go forth with that. We don't want to tarnish our image and whatnot. I mean, which way keeps you more people? I don't know. And they weighed the options, I'm sure, and they went one way. And I would have liked them to say, you know what, we were going to back this bill, and we think it would be wrong for us to do, and not. I don't know. I just didn't like the way he came out and did. I didn't like his speech. The video he put out or whatever was just seemed insincere.
Well, see, and here's one of the points that we brought up in the chat the other day that I brought up yesterday, and we talked about this, I think, on my actual Patreon chat a couple months ago, is, when you're boycotting a firearms company, you're not going to affect the CEO or the president, because by boycotting the company, he's going to get paid regardless. Who you're going to affect is if boycott does work. then you're going to change the production line. You're going to get the production line people laid off because they're not producing as much. What I would suggest doing, and let's just say Springfield Armory, instead of saying, I'm not going to buy a Springfield Armory Springfield XD, instead of saying that publicly, what I would say is everybody needs to email the board of directors of Springfield Armory and say, fire this fool because he's misrepresenting the Second Amendment. He's making your company look bad. And if you don't do anything about it, then there will be maybe a boycott. But we're going to give you every opportunity to make it right to the public. Get rid of this fool so we don't have to boycott and you have to start laying off employees.
I'm all for it. Yeah, I think that's a great way to look at it too. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it does suck that employees get stuck in the crossfire, quote unquote, right? You know,
I never thought about it like that until you said that, Ghost, and you're right. It's not the big guys at the top that's going to get the smack in the hand. It's all the little guys at the bottom. Shit runs downhill, and you know they're going to start laying people off. And who does it hurt? Honestly, in the end, who does it hurt? The family man at the bottom that's got 2 kids and a wife home that he's trying to smack.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a great way to look at it. G says he doesn't trust anyone. I don't trust anyone who is complicit in production of guns with grip safeties. I know we all know how G thinks about grip safeties, and I mean if you chamber that grip safety gun in a 9mm, a 9mm with a grip zone.
Oh man,
you might as well just be carrying a broomstick, right?
No,
that's what we call a G gun.
The grip
G gun,
grip zone safety.
I don't got a problem with grip safeties. I mean, 1911s have grip safeties, and that SIG. I mean, not SIG, not SIG. The Smith and Wesson Shield
EZ380.
Yeah, I mean that's a nice little 380. To be honest with you.
What kind of an idiot owns a 1911?
Apparently, one that cuts himself.
I do not understand.
Your cousin, nice strike.
Careful, those things are bloodthirsty, man.
Want a 1911, you know, something like grip safe.
Here's the
I
problem
don't know, Ellis. How about you stand up and look under your bed and ask Night Strike?
Night Strike actually.
They don't sleep in bunk beds anymore.
Vampires.
They were in bunk beds.
That's what happened.
I'm sorry. Did you call me an idiot for owning a 1911 there, Ellis?
You woke it up.
Here comes the ass. Heads up.
Apparently you wasn't watching the screen, was you?
Go out there and grab me a switch, boy.
Apparently you was not watching the screen, Gunpowder.
No.
Now I got a question, Ellis. I know we all wear our tinfoil hats sometimes, but you're so paranoid you got tinfoil window covers?
Yeah.
Man, those aliens must be looking for you hardcore, huh?
Well,
Do you have it shiny side out or in?
1911 on one side of me, a 12-gauge shotgun on the other.
There you go. You should be good then.
He's just scared. I'm gonna go over there and throat punch him. Don't let him fool you.
I'd be scared of that too.
Game's gonna come out.
I ain't worried about that. Target got you under control.
The real
You keep thinking that, boy.
Is that redneck aluminum foil window tinting, is that held in place by duct tape?
That's the only way to go.
Do you know what duct tape is, Ellis? It's the gray tape that's real sticky. Kind of makes a quacking noise when you rope it off the roll.
Yeah, there you go. Is that how they named duct tape? Is that why they named it that?
No, it's DUCT, like air duct.
Right,
duct.
yeah.
But it wasn't designed for that.
Yeah,
it wasn't designed for that. It was designed for ammo cans.
But I guess that's people mispronouncing it. I've known that, but that would be a funny story too if they heard that coming out when you tore it off. If it sounded like that.
Yeah.
So
there's a tape off and it goes quack quack.
Yeah.
No, more like kind of those walking ducks. Ellis gets after eating the beans.
Yeah, they're always right behind him. I'll tell you what. Talking about, we saw some really super cool stuff today when we took the little guy out. There was a sloth. There was a snapping turtle that was like huge, big alligator snapping turtle. We saw water bison, we saw zebra, we saw like I don't even like crazy stuff. We came home, put him to bed. Hey buddy, what was your favorite animal? Donkey.
Son, we do not use that word in this house. The proper name is ass.
Donkey. I'm like, holy shit. I'm like, we just paid however much to go see all this stuff. We saw lizards and albino pythons. Like, we did the petting zoo. There was like little baby goats. There was a yak that was born today. Like, it just this tiny little thing, freaking donkey. Could have just taken him to a farm somewhere.
Now, just be thankful that he didn't say, "I like the goat the best."
That's true. I'd have been wondering if he was
Cousin Ellis has been
maybe
talking
not
to you,
Ellis,
hasn't he?
Yeah. Maybe Ellis was delivering mail up here one day, and
Once again, let me explain this to you. There are no goats in West Virginia.
Not
Yeah,
anymore.
they're all in Nebraska. That's a Nebraska thing.
They've all been taken by the witness relocation program.
Scared them off.
You're confusing people with West Virginia with people from Alabama again.
If he said goat,
The sheep and the goats.
if he said goat, Travis would have been looking in his room to see if he had a stinking Quran hidden somewhere.
Now I don't know this. I mean, some things are funny. Some things are fed. They're tongue in cheek. Me and G-Webs might. I don't know. He said he's going to be a Democrat. Does he like the donkey? I don't know. That might be it. That might be the last gun channel chat ever.
Pretty left leaning.
Lord, maybe he just likes. Never mind. I ain't gonna say.
It's honestly.
He's gonna be an ass, man.
Yeah, maybe. It was funny, and I'm not surprised because we were actually feeding him some popcorn, and we were walking away, and he started like, I don't even know what they call it when the dog, you know what I mean, whatever sound they make, and it was so loud. It's not a neigh. Neigh's what horses do.
B-A-Y.
Oh, yay! Is that really it?
Baying. B is in boy, A is in asshole, Y is in yet.
Bay?
Eh?
So
what
what
does
does
there,
the dog say?
All right, whatever they call it. Okay, we'll say it's Bay. If that's true, it's true. If it's not, it's not. But and it was so loud, it like scared him, and he kept doing it. It was really funny. So Okay, the gun snob says donkey's bray. Obnoxious says bray. Different spelling. I don't know. Okay, well, we learned something today. So
that's what's important.
We also, all right, we're gonna take a step back in time here, a couple of minutes, and we're gonna decide here once and for all with the panel which peanut butter sucks and which one doesn't. So here we're gonna do Jif because Jif is the shit, and Peter Pan because Peter Pan will get you killed because it's got salmonella in it. And it's scary, but
don't forget Skippy.
No Skippy.
I don't give a shit. Nobody likes Skippy.
Skippy Natural is pretty damn good, man.
All the natural peanut butter.
Great value branded peanut butter paste.
Peanut paste.
On my favorite brand, Clover Valley.
Okay, what about Reese's peanut butter now?
It's called Reese's.
Whatever.
Can we all agree that Goober is good? The peanut butter jelly combo in a jar.
No.
It's a great concept.
What is wrong with y'all?
Terrible.
It's got both worlds in one jar. How can you not like it?
No.
This is why P11 is the leader of the Travi and not the followers.
I'm just saying it's a convenience. It's a
put
convenience
my own
factor.
damn grape jelly on my sandwich. I don't need it mixed in with my peanut butter.
When's the last time you guys have actually bought a jar of Goober, though? I mean, really, it might be better than you remember it. Well, there you go.
No.
Don't knock it till you try.
Those too damn
No.
expensive.
That's it. I'll
What
tabletop
about
review.
the peanut butter that actually has chocolate in it?
Oh yeah.
Now, here's the thing: the idea is kind of cool, and the jelly part of it is not bad, but the peanut butter they use sucks. It's really dry and shitty.
There we go.
Well, that's
But
because the jelly
kids
sucks all the moisture out of
love
it.
Mm-hmm.
The jelly sucks the moisture out of the peanut butter. Is that how it happens?
Yeah, sugar is hydroscopic.
What the hell kind of reverse osmosis fucking jelly is that?
Probably goes in goober.
Moisture
guess.
from it absorbs all the peanut oil to keep itself moist, so the jelly doesn't dry out. It dries out the peanut butter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
It's too
because
hot,
dried
he
out
said.
peanut butter is just kind of chewy, like those Reese's Fast Breaks, whereas dried out jelly turns like into marble.
It's like peanut flavored sawdust. It sucks. Hottie says, "Quit being lazy. You can open 2 jars."
And I think that's exactly right. The goober jelly is vampire jelly.
Oops.
If it doesn't, if G says if it doesn't separate, it's a peanut flavored suspension of chemicals, not butter.
Only one
This is
grape
true.
jelly. If it don't say Welch's on it, it ain't grape jelly.
Mm. Yeah. There's
Smuckers.
there's a jelly and jam joke. What's the difference between jelly and jam? But I can't say it on the air. I'll get in trouble. Here, I'll tell it to you off the air. That's a bonus. That's the bonus of being on the panel tonight. You get a grape jelly joke.
Hey, I
You're
sent
gonna
you
want-
something in your email midnight. You might check out.
What?
I said I sent you something in your email. You might check out.
Oh, it's a naked picture of a chicken.
Not
Now,
just
is the picture naked or is the chicken naked?
Oh, what the hell is this? Oh, is that okay? Is that shit real?
It's an old picture from like the 50s or 60s or something, but I found it on Pinterest.
What the?
It says Slim Jim. It's a box, almost like a box that you would get like taffy in at the beach, and it says chocolate flavored Slim Jims, 2 for $1.
I told you.
The chocolate
That
Slim
does
Jim?
not even sound good.
I don't know if you can.
Sounds like
see it. Can you see it?
like something that you get from the sign-up sheet in the Denning parking lot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming that that's before the meat quote unquote Slim Jims came about, and this is like some sort of like a chocolate stick or something. I don't know, but that's pretty funny.
Might have been a chocolate dip meat stick.
I think I found that Pinterest post, Gary. You want me to share that with everyone or what?
Sure.
Here, tell me if this is it. I just found this in a random Google search here. There you go. Chocolate covered Slim Jims.
Probably.
It's a recipe
hold
for
on.
them.
Oh, that looks about the same as it would when it comes out.
Well, that's one way of doing it, I suppose. No, it's not exactly what I was.
Drop a couple of those in the community swimming pool and see what happens, huh?
No. It's got to be a Baby Ruth with some of the chocolate scraped off the nuts.
It's just a Baby Ruth.
G said he only eats butters that have 3 ingredients or less: nut, salt. There's a little sugar in there too. And you got to touch. I actually have a recipe for cashew butter. I got a recipe for cashew butter that's pretty slamming that I made
There,
back
check
in
that.
the day.
I got a suggestion.
There's a good picture of it.
Oh, okay.
There's 240 of them in there.
Phoenix Candy Company, Brooklyn, New York. Wow.
Do any of you remember the Superman peanut butter?
No.
Why was it made from Kryptonian nuts?
I'm not sure what it was made from.
Made from
It
Superman.
wasn't very long. It was just a short here and then it's gone type deal.
No, I don't remember seeing that. No. 1982 is when it came out. So was that when the first Superman movie came out, or was that?
No, the first one came out in the
like 70.
I'm thinking like the Christopher Reeve series. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Christopher Reeve one. The first one came out right around the same time that Star Wars and Star Trek: The Motion
9 or something. Yeah.
79. Somewhere around there.
I got a suggestion if you're one of those that like Goober. You know, I know that was a while ago, but I got kicked out of the call. Just follow up after my daughter makes a peanut butter and jelly, and you'll have that. So
Yeah,
it's, you
same
know,
same
just-
same
they
knife, huh?
It's exactly the same, I think.
I'll tell you what
But it's
is a
good
good
peanut
snack.
butter. So
Yeah, I'll tell you what is a good snack is I will take peanut butter and jelly and mix it together and then like dip Ritz crackers in it for a snack. That's pretty good.
I
Oh,
tell you,
And apples.
something else is good too. You take your peanut butter, mix some cinnamon in with it, then make
Yeah, it sounds good. I can see that.
And speaking of, does anybody remember that god awful ET cereal that was supposed to be peanut butter and chocolate and it just tasted like shit?
The what?
He said ET.
The Reese. Oh,
yeah, yeah.
All right, so we got another one. Too hottie out there wanted us to vote on. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna bang this out real quick. We're gonna do two things. You're gonna tell me best peanut butter, right? What do we got? Skippy, Jif, and Peter Pan, the deadly Peter Pan, and then whether you like toasted or untoasted. Like if you want to eat it on toast or just regular old raw bread.
Is grilled an option? Because I do the grilled PB&J.
Yeah, that's fine. That's toasted.
Okay, cool.
We'll go with that.
Technically, it's toasted, I guess. Yeah. All right.
All
Cool.
right.
Ready to rock.
So,
Do it.
ape. Banana's not an option. I mean, you could turn it into an Elvis later, but
sorry, looking at this link that Gizzard put in.
butter banana sandwich. I've eaten many of them.
I'm going to go with Skippy, and I'm going to say that it's best on toast, but it's a real light layer of peanut butter on the toast, so it melts into it.
that's inferior. But okay, we'll let you vote that way. You got to let people vote, right? Frankie, this is important shit, man.
Very important.
Yeah, take this shit seriously, okay?
Yes. I'm going to go with Peter Pan and just regular bread because I set fires with toasters.
Well, I guess for the common good of your household members, you should do that then.
There's a little knob that says burnt and not burnt. Just put it to not burnt and super glue it in place.
Yeah, but that doesn't help if the Pop-Tart gets stuck in it and then just flames.
Well, you just get the knife and...
No, you get the husband to use the knife and pry it out.
Just buy a new toaster.
Well, I'll tell you what, too.
Use a toaster oven and you don't have that problem.
Yeah, that's what I use.
Flamethrower. Just get one of those butane torches and just kind of go over it like you would with a creme brulee.
G's triggered in the gun channels chat. He's down there pulling his hair out. Yeah.
All of you sugar butter options suck butt. I suck nobody's butt. I'm not that flexible or that desperate.
So, all right, we're gonna.
If we know your name's not Jumpy Killer.
Yeah. Gizzard. What kind of peanut? Jif, or the other ones? Skippy or Peter Pan? Toasted and untoasted.
Of the three, I guess if I had to pick, I buy store brands because I'm that unpicky, but I prefer Jif of those three.
That's right. See, that's why I got you around here, Gizzard, because you're smart.
And
you got good taste.
I like either one, but toasted tastes better.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Yeah. Gunpowder. What kind of peanut butter are those little monsters munching in your hizzy?
I am not even talking about what they like. They'll eat anything, weirdos. But I like Jif, and most of the time it's untoasted. But if it's going to be toasted, it's going to go on a waffle because it's just delicious.
So, if you had okay, so we're not throwing waffles into the goddamn mix too. So, if you had your choice,
you should try it. It's delicious.
I have. I love waffle. I've done that. I've done PB&Js on
on waffles. Peanut butter and jelly on pancakes is awesome too.
Yeah,
it's good on anything or anybody. So we're saying toasted or
really
toasted or untoasted?
Dog? Seriously?
Yeah.
If it's going on bread, it's going to be untoasted.
All right. Patriot. If your little monster kid leaves Yanny, what are you going to use?
Well, since I don't trust any man in tights, I'm going to go with Jif. I'm not doing no Peter Pan stuff. Errol Flynn included.
Peter Pan's been a woman playing Peter, right?
Whatever. Anyway, Jif. I like if I do the toast, I use real butter on it too, because I'm kind of old school with the old peanut butter that used to have the oil on top of it.
You can still buy that.
Yeah, but
the natural peanut butter, and it's 10 times better than the newer stuff.
Get out of here with that nonsense.
10
You sound like
times
get on the gun channels if we want to talk like that.
I already did.
He's down there. Gizzard's down there kissing butt. He's down there. Yeah, G, you're right.
I know how to use gun channels because I live there.
Oh, you see what G put down last? I never eat jelly. That's fruit semen.
Oh. I don't think I will ever eat jelly again now. So
yeah, I may skip that for a while now.
Anyway,
just to have the peanut butter.
If you want peanut butter, go to Costco, get your one of the big cans of Jif, and you'll have your oil on top of your Jif.
Nice. I'm a Jif extra crunchy guy. Patriot, toasted or you said toasted, yeah? Toasted.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm gonna make a peanut butter and jelly, it's usually just regular, but I like peanut butter on toast too.
Yeah.
But the one thing I do not like is peanut butter left over on the knife in the sink. I can't stand that
that's a
smell.
pain in the ass.
You get the smell. It's just almost as bad as ketchup in the sink.
You have to scrub that back to get it clean too.
Yeah, it's tough to clean it off.
Yeah. Well, it's just the smell. I can't stand it. You know,
my wife's like that with syrup, like leftover like syrup. If I make pancakes for me and the little dude, I gotta like rinse the plate off right away, or she goes absolutely bananas. She's like, "Are you guys cooking syrup? Are you doing syrup somewhere?" I'm like, G Web says, "See, if you don't toast your bread, you could go blind."
No.
That's what's wrong with me.
And clean off your spoon or your knife. Rich, what kind of highfalutin 1% fancy pants stuff are you making?
It's got to be Jif, preferably extra crunchy. And
yep.
If I'm in a hurry, I'll eat it on plain, untoasted. But if I got the time to sit and make it right, it's toasted.
Yeah. So you prefer it toasted? That's what we're going with. Ellis, this is right up your alley, buddy.
Peanut butter and plain white bread.
What kind of peanut butter, dude?
It don't matter. I'll eat any of it. But if I had to choose, it'd be Peter Pan.
Because he likes tights.
Yep. He's like he likes his peanut butter with some bulges.
It's just Peter Pan tastes better than the rest.
Mm-hmm. Mr. P11.
I'm going to go with Jif, either creamy or crunchy, grilled, but I guess we could say toasted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'm a Jif extra crunchy. The crunchier, the better. I sometimes even throw toasted peanuts on top of it or in it. And I toast that sumbitch too. Jif toasted is the way to go. Everybody has decided. So there you go. We're making decisions here tonight. We're putting out good information. I think people are going to appreciate this. No thumbs down. Nope.
Let's go get peanut butter right now.
Let's do it.
Let's all go to the peanut butter.
Yeah, there you
go. All right, so now that we've got the big decisions out of the way, one thing we wanted to talk about I thought would be kind of fun is
I got one on the peanut butter.
Yeah.
The Jif extra crunchy. I don't even need a goddamn piece of bread. I'll eat it out of a jar with a spoon.
Straight out, yep.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Has anybody mixed honey with peanut butter?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I have.
Yep.
Freaking awesome.
Damn right, man.
I've actually had them with syrup as well.
Yeah, you can pretty much put anything on PB&J. Apples are good too. Do like a peanut butter and sliced apple. That's good.
How about
Seed oil.
I'll tell you what else.
Peanut butter
I'll tell
apple
you
with
what's
cinnamon together.
How about peanut butter with Hershey Kisses?
Yeah.
Oh, it's and Hershey's
Peanut butter and
chocolate.
chocolate.
That's
I'll tell you what's
What's
a little bit weird, what's a little bit different that's really good is peanut butter and carrots.
Ooh, done celery before, but never carrots.
Yeah, carrots are really good.
In Thailand, I had chicken with peanut butter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do a peanut chicken at the restaurant. We do it's a peanut sauce with coconut cream, red Thai curry in there. And then we chicken and rice.
Oh, fancy pants.
Yeah. White we got that white rice.
Yeah, definitely.
That actually would be good. That would be a good one for the video because for a video that's really different.
Yeah, let's not forget peanut butter and banana.
Blanamba? Peanut butter and blanaba? Uh-oh. Yoder, Texas says he used to put sweet pickle slices on the peanut butter sandwich. That's an odd one.
Ooh, that's
spicy pickles.
Ew.
Spicy pickles.
Pickle is actually good.
It might work. It might work.
Use the peanut butter to make mole and then take the mole and put it on some chicken.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
A friend
that would work.
She was pregnant and she was living with us, and she actually would make peanut butter and dill pickle sandwiches. So I was like, she gave me because she would cut them in fours. So she gave me one time to try it. I'll tell you what, man, that shit was damn good together.
Oh yeah.
We got all sorts of people out there. Oh, General Relativity's got a pickle out there. Yoder says he wants his bread toasted. Yeah.
Now that's one thing I can't do is pickles. I hate
No.
pickles. Fucking suck.
They fucking suck, or you suck fucking pickles.
No, pickles. I hate pickles.
All right, so we know how to ward off Ellis.
Yeah. Just hang a pickle around your neck.
Yeah, that's
You guys probably already do.
Goats and pickles.
Pickles are to Ellis as garlic is to vampires.
That's right. We got apple. They're talking about apple butter out there. They're talking about all sorts of stuff. It's cool. Yeah. Yeah. Second topic. We'll make this quick, and then if we want to ditch, we can get out of here. How to slow down your kids while they're shooting. I'm not sure if it was. I guess it was probably Clover's chat. One of Clover's chat. I was talking about or thinking about this. He was talking about his young shooters. I had a buddy that did this. He bought his son a Ruger 1022 and wouldn't let him load more than one round at a time until he shot 500 rounds, something like that, 500 rounds, because he wanted him to, go slow, take it easy, learn to shoot properly. Another one that I was thinking of that was pretty cool, is if you start with iron sights, which I think you should start with iron sights. I think that's a good thing to do, and I think it really there's different iron sights too, which is kind of cool. So you move to a couple of different guns. You see a couple different. Some have peep sights. Some have the U back, dot front, that kind of thing. G Web says easy. Force them to shoot 9mm. They will hate each shot. Don't put a 45 in their hand. To move up to an optic, whether it be a red dot or a scope, slow down and make your kid shoot to whatever degree of accuracy you feel fit before they move up to an optic or a scope. I always shot open sights when I was a kid. I had actually the 22 that I still have. I just love shooting open sights. I had the ability to shoot 22. We had a 22 with a scope on it, and I shot it a couple times. But I really, really loved the open sights, and it's a tube-fed bolt action. So I love to just load that thing up with whatever it's like 15 or 17 rounds maybe or something. I don't remember. And you just shoot like crazy, like that versus the 22 that we had a scope and a 5-round mag or something, which was just kind of like me. I love the tube fed thing. I always thought that was so cool. So is there anything you guys have ever seen, or heard about good ways to kind of get a young shooter to slow down a little bit, take their time, not rush, and not just go out there and squeeze the trigger and blast away? And that's fun, but as a young shooter, you want to teach them the basics, right? So, go ahead.
Yeah, the one I heard, I don't remember if it was Dead Horse or not, is make your kids reload everything that they're going to shoot.
Oh yeah, yeah, I've heard them say that.
Yeah, so then they take care of what they're shooting.
They did, yeah. They appreciate it more. It's like making a kid pay for his own, making them pay for their own car insurance when they get their car. They're a whole lot more careful driving it if they know that their insurance is going to go up if they get in an accident. G says give them a target at the bench, just like when it is downrange, and have them mark and number each shot.
Yeah, I never had the issue where my kids wanted to shoot real quick. I guess because they watched me and like their grandfather and whatnot before he passed, and we would take our time and we were shooting targets. No, not that we would rapid fire at times, but we would watch how we were shooting. And I think they learned it before they learned. You know what I mean? Just from watching how we did it. So
yeah.
I never had a problem where they were just out there like going through magazine after magazine after magazine super fast.
Yeah.
I'd say get the kid a single shot bolt action, or just a bolt action with like a 5-round magazine. So you're forced to stop and have to reload, and you can talk after each mag,
Mm-hmm.
Muzzle loader.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's what General Relativity said out there. He said, give them a Kentucky flintlock long rifle. That will break them in proper. Yeah. Just
Well, me, you need to open your eyes. According to Travis, you got a couple underfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 22 I learned on was a bolt action. You weren't going to put more than one in there at a time anyway. That's a good way to do it.
Or
the 22 I learned on was a lever action that held 10 rounds. So if I wanted to, I could go through rounds real quick with that thing.
Yeah.
Or you just shooting long grass. If you have them shooting long grass and you just drop the bullets all on the grass, then you have to find one at a time.
Or go shooting with you at night, huh? Just dump the box on the ground. I mean, you can find you can shoot whatever you find. Ching chink.
Then a week later, you hit them with a lawnmower.
And actually, probably making them spend their own money for their shells or whatever they're shooting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good.
Where they have to work and they at least do certain things to get a certain amount.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, if you talk about like you mow the lawn, you get 100 rounds of 22.
Bam and ammo.
Bam and ammo.
Bam and ammo.
I think
the two people I first learned to shoot, I just realized were both lever actions. One was a 20, the other one was a 30-30.
Yeah, that's cool.
I think we ought to start them off with a 45-70.
Oh, at least.
Yeah, and then let them work their way down from there.
70. That'll teach them to save that ammo.
Yeah.
They'll fire one round a week, maybe.
G is saying,
the black powder.
Never fire another one.
yeah. G said have them shoot steel that they have to reset, and not just paper targets too. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make them get up in between, go do some. It's good too to,
What about soda cans?
Or go
Get up and
verify
move
their
around.
target.
Yeah.
Verify where they hit.
Buy some cheap soda cans, Sam's Club shit.
I don't know. Kind of sounds like a guy issue. Always wanting to go too fast on the trigger, too soon, stuff like that.
Ouch.
Well, if you can't be good, be fast. They say.
Don't give them enough time to make them think, was that bad or good?
Reminds me of a joke.
Get out quicker.
I'm just not going to that one.
Notice Midnight ain't made a comment about that.
Wait, say again. About what? What did I miss?
Dome?
Ooh, wait, I didn't hear you. Dead air. What happened?
Cricket.
I'm sorry, I missed something.
Cricket.
And
Cricket.
nobody's gonna say it now. I see how it is. We got out in the chat. Gun Snob's leaving. Yeah. Black Hat says always the best 30 seconds of his life. Every
record
time.
for me.
Hey, RL. Hey, buddy.
30 seconds. That guy should write some sort of how-to book.
Hey, there's your chance,
Oh
Gunpowder.
my gosh.
Yeah. RL, Gunpowder needs to borrow your truck for about 3 days.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't even need it for 3. Well, yeah, I'm gonna need it for 3 days.
Do.
Yep, that's right.
Yeah, you
The
will.
day to load it, a day to drive it, a day to unload it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take you a day, especially if you don't have a forklift.
And she'll pay for gas.
Leaving. Maybe Frankie's comment gave them an idea.
Listen, I don't need a forklift. All my stuff, I know for a fact I can lift. So I don't need a forklift.
But you can lift more stuff with the forklift than you can with the gunpowder.
That's true. Can I borrow a forklift too?
Well, don't they have like those little kind of fold-up ones that kind of cling on the back of tractor trailers?
Well, I was going to say, it doesn't fit on the truck. If it doesn't fit on the truck, you're going to have to drive that down too.
Yeah, and those things only go like maybe 10 miles an hour.
I was
You're going to spend a hell of a lot of money on propane cylinders.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you feel like driving a bomb across country?
Dun, dun, dun.
I don't know. Tardot feels safe enough to let me drive sometimes, so can't be much worse than that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tardot just likes living dangerously.
He really does. Bless his heart.
Oh, she said it. She said it.
I bet he goes to bed every night thanking God he hadn't got throat punched that day.
Can't eagle try.
Can't throat punch him. Apparently, that's considered spousal abuse and it's frowned upon.
Well, if you punch him hard enough, he can't talk.
I like the way you think.
Go to the cop all bruised up.
Complain. Yeah, you're good.
What happened? He forgot our safe word.
He told you about our safe word.
Is it Night Strike?
No.
No. That's what she's doing to him is night strike.
Jonas.
Sea cucumber.
What? Sea cucumber.
I think it was pineapple.
Pizza. Pizza.
Pineapple.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Any other topics? Anything else we want to talk about?
Yeah, I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
What are you guys? What do you guys use for carry ammo in your guns?
Depends. If I have
your gun,
the 9mm, my 9mm, I have Spear Gold Dot 124s in.
That's what I use in mine.
and in my 40, I carry critical defense, and I also have a mag of critical duty. So my backup mag has critical duty in it, but I have critical defense in my 40.
Duty.
I said duty. It said duty defense. That's what Imodium is, duty defense.
You also said you carry Depends in your gun,
That's
so
what
hey,
Pepto is.
That's true.
how do you
Carry
fit the
duty
Depends?
defense.
How do you fit the Depends in your magazine?
They're
Well,
little.
you put them in like a vacuum sealer, like you do for a tourniquet.
Yeah.
Yeah, critical.
But,
It's critical defense for me too, regardless of what the caliber is.
Same
That's pretty
here.
much what I always buy on it. That's
It's super popular. I mean, it has been since it came out. I think it's a good round.
It's about all
Yeah,
my gun
that's-
shop carries, really.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is my gun shop. That's usually what they got.
But
Yeah.
it cycles
And
and
my-
everything pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
We use Perfecta, I think.
I think one of my guns, my snub nose 38, has Federals that I actually bought.
Yeah, I was actually looking for 38s today.
Because my gun shop never did carry, and I finally had to go out of town and get some. All I could find was the Federal.
Are they the Hydra Shocks or those kind of wad cutter looking ones?
The Hydra Shocks.
DT Pfeiffer's and Gun Channel's chat says the HSTs in law enforcement 50 round boxes. Yeah, I the Winchester
Ranger
not
tees.
Ranger tees. Yeah, they come in 50 round boxes. They're good value too, and they're great round. I like the critical defense. I like the polymer tip. I watch a lot of tests on them, a lot of gel tests, any kind of test, not just gel tests. They just seem to
Meat
be
targets.
meat target. Like, yeah, if you watch
Paul Harold's.
if you watch Pearl Harold's meat targets, even down there, that does really well, even in the smaller calibers. He was just doing one. He did one last week where he was doing like, what was it, 22 mag or something?
Yeah, he's doing
Mhm.
22 mag.
They just in every one of the calibers they seem to do really well. They might not open as big. They might not, you know what I mean? It seems like, but it's very rare that I see any kind of test with them that they didn't do towards the top of whatever they were testing for, whether it's penetration or, you know.
He was doing the HSTs in 380. Good Lord, I've never seen a 380 hollow point open up like those did.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Hey, Black Cat. Cat in the panel.
Yeah, I got
Kitty.
I got the cord on.
Morning, gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Afternoon.
It's labeled Glazer, but Glazer's on by Corbon. And if you look on the stamp on the case says Corbon too. So, but yeah, that's what I got. It's basically their version of the polymer tip. Hollow point.
Right. Yeah.
And they're 135 grain, so you're moving pretty quickly. They're average
Out of the 40.
1,305 feet per second.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah, I've never gotten into any of the rounds. I've never really shot any of the rounds like that. They're pricey to shoot, a lot of them too. So I've always stuck with that.
they were on sale at Match's Shooting Supply for $15 a box for a box of 20, which isn't too much defense ammo. When you think of it.
I just got a flyer from, where is it, Bass Pro. Bass Pro's having a lot of sales coming up here. I think starting at 10th. They've got some decent prices. Their prices are usually pretty high, but their sale prices are really good compared to like buying them online or something like that, just to be able to stop over and grab some if you need them. On Critical Defense and Winchester White Box 5.56.
Yeah.
I forget what else. There was a couple things. I think their 5.56 was like $7.50 a box. It's pretty good.
I'm gonna try the if I can get some money, I want to get some of the Underwood. They're 135 grain hollow points. They went 15 a box for those all the time, and they got them. They're advertising them at 1,400 feet per second and 588 foot-pounds. You're talking 357 SIG, low power 357 Magnum at that point. Compared,
still inferior to their 10 mil.
Yeah, but how many 10 millimeters are you going to find out there on the market like my Shield?
How much time and how much money you want?
The answer is none.
The wife has a
1911 size or Glock 20 size. The 21 is more 19, but it's still bigger than what my Shield is. Yeah.
When you buy the gun guy who already has everything else.
The wife is giving me the finger out there. Says, here's a question. What do you buy the gun guy who already has everything? Travis, did we cover that on your show in Caliber Corner one day? Wasn't that was one of your topics, right?
Yeah, I think so. Like, what do you like gifts for gun guys or something like that?
Yeah.
No.
Ammunition is what you buy a guy that's got everything. A gun guy that's got all the guns he wants.
We did like a top 5 gun gifts for somebody, or gifts for somebody who's into guns, or
I say better Ear Pro electronic.
Yeah, Ear Pro's nice. That was one of them where if you know somebody. Now, what's funny is I have electronic Ear Pro, and a lot of times I don't use it. I actually have my fucking Ear Pro still on me. A lot of times I don't wear them because if it's during the summer and they're hot, So a lot of times I just throw in I get these at Walmart. Come in like packs of 3 for a couple of bucks, and then lay them around go around your neck or whatever.
You get just in the ear.
Yeah, So I don't know. I'll tell you what, electronic Ear Pro is really nice. We were actually talking about that today. She was asking me about it. Pfeiffer says no guy has everything. Jesus, safety is hot. The hell, safety is hot. I don't know what that means. Yeah, Ear Pro's a good one. Ammo's a good one. I mean, who doesn't want more ammo, right? I've bought range boxes for Christmas. People really like those.
Gift cards to.
I was gonna say, I don't know. Women sometimes have a hard time with this concept. Like they feel like they're buying something that's not like a good gift, or it doesn't have any significance, or it's not thoughtful. But
that's the best one ever.
It's the easiest thing to do. And I'll tell you what, you have a gift card laying around, you put it in your wallet, and then one of these days something's going to go on sale. You're going to get an email from PSA, and it's going to be like, holy Christ, they're doing the strike fires and 10 mags for $190 or $189 or something, or $179. And it's like, Jesus, that's like $10 more than the red dot itself. I got to buy that. And now you got a gift card,
Yeah, gift cards and everything, because it could be turned into anything. Right.
And one of the things that, and we've talked about this on shows before too, is we don't as gun people don't impulse buy. I don't think as much as people think. I think what happens is you have lists of things in your head, and you're like, man, I really want to buy one of these, or I really want to buy one of these, and then you kind of have 3 or 4 things in the back of your mind, and then one day one of them goes on an awesome sale, and you're like, now's my chance, and you snag it. It's not really an impulse buy. You're just you're waiting for it to come up when it's going to come up for Black Friday or something like that, and you're walking through the store and it's like, oh shit, that's on sale today, I'm going to grab it. Or you get a flyer in the mail. G-Web says # buy him a Sky. Perfect.
That's a brand of vodka, right?
Yeah. The other night he was hollering about needing a Derringer. Now he wants a Sky. Make up your mind, G-Web.
Like was said, he was asked if it was a brand of vodka. Yes, Sky is a brand of vodka.
That's right.
Reds just likes his vodka.
What about getting him a class? Whether it's tactical or something.
If you think he's really into it, that's an awful lot. They can be an awful lot of money.
It would depend on who the class is with. Because there's certain people I wouldn't want to take a class with.
Get him a class of tactical response.
About 25 pounds of binary.
Gizzard saying,
I'd say sign me up for a class with Paul Harrell. I'm there.
Gizzard saying, buy him a Glock. I'll take a Glock. Buy that sumbitch. Send it to me.
I was trying to help you out there, buddy.
I got nothing wrong with that. Glock's just that's not high on my list.
How about buy him a Bursa?
Yeah.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. That's not his.
third time's a charm.
Wah wah wah.
I have Mike Ozzy says I have the earplugs on a string all over the place. He has to wear them at work. Yeah, they're nice because they're small and you can stick them wherever. I have the little foam ones laying around too, but these are nicer for sure.
I think Midnight needs a CZ. I think Mia needs to buy him, a CZ.
CZ's really nice. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'm looking at that. I'm not looking at, okay, because I'll probably never buy it. But I have to bring it up here. Let me bring up a picture of it. I showed it to the wife, and I showed it to her, and I was like, check this thing out. And she goes, ooh.
A 1911. Everybody wants a 1911.
I do, and I'll get a 1911 for sure. Honestly, someday.
Get a Ruger. Great value, great gun.
Yeah. Here, let me find this.
Actually, I saw that Remington has a double stack now.
Oh yeah.
Barn score. If I was going to buy a double stack, I'd just buy one of those.
Remington bought Paraordnance, so they just rebranded the Paraordnance 1445 as being theirs. That's all that is.
All right, I'm gonna screen share here. And
nice.
Am I sharing?
Yes. I want every one of those.
This son of a bitch right here.
Ooh.
Chris Sphinx. Tactical.
Awesome.
That is
an Alpine. Isn't that sweet looking?
Yep.
Stormtrooper-ish, right? And honestly, price-wise, they're really comparable to the FNHs. I think they only come in 9mm. I'd like to get a 45. That's why I was leaning towards the FNH, but that's a sweet toy, huh?
This is the white and black.
The price is on?
Yeah, about $1,000, a little bit less.
Is that white or silver?
It's white. Yeah, there's other ones. Oh, that's the Beretta. That's the Beretta Toblerone.
I don't know if I'd want the white one though.
Yeah, if I was going to go 45, I would look for a CZ97. Probably be cheaper.
Oh, here you go. Here, this is G. There, this is the one we're getting for G for Christmas. Oh shit! Did I let the cat out of the bag? The white sky. No, I saw a picture of that bad boy. I was like, wow, that is really sharp looking. I thought that was cool. I mean, range toy, home. It would be nice to have something like that suppressed for the house. That'd be pretty cool. So, all right. So there you go. That's one of the toys I'm looking at. That I'll probably never be able to buy.
Tell me to sell a kidney, and then you can afford to buy it.
Nobody wants my kidney.
You don't want to give up little man.
Yeah, right.
I said Mia sell a kidney. I didn't say you.
Oh. She needs your kidneys. Yoder says, how about a custom Cerakote job? That's a good idea. That's kind of cool. I mean, if you have somebody that does Cerakoting, hydro dipping, just a gunsmith that does kind of a little bit of everything, that would be a cool gift card to get. That's actually what I want to do with my 9mm eventually, is have somebody Cerakote it, because the finish is so crappy. It's all banged up. We definitely don't have everything this guy does. I don't know. Maybe she's talking about her dad. Her dad's a big gun guy. I don't know. I've done pretty good in the past. I've done pretty good for him as far as Christmas. Her dad's a big gun nut too, and I've always done pretty well finding him stuff. Bought him a red dot for his AR a couple years ago, and I always hit the gun shows, and I usually keep stuff on on my phone. That he wants when I talk to him. If he talks about buying something, I was thinking about getting this or that. I'll try and throw it in my phone. That way, when I hit a gun show, if I see one, if not, he reloads like crazy. You can buy him. I think this year for Christmas, I got him powder and got him some powder. I forget what else. But he's into lending a little bit of everything.
Hey, when is the next Harrisburg gun show? There at midnight,
Let me think. The last one was on Father's Day, and they have one every 3 months.
So 3 months for Father's Day.
Yeah, whatever that. What was Father's Day? June. So September-ish. It's usually, and they usually do it like the third weekend. So it would be like the third weekend in September-ish, I think, if they keep with the trend or whatever.
All right, I haven't been down to Harrisburg for one in a while.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it's a nice setup. I've gone down. I've done York too. York is usually pretty packed. They pack a lot into that space. I've never been to any of the ones out in Allentown. Allentown, they say, I've heard, has a lot more milsurp stuff. A lot more older stuff. But I don't know. I've never had a chance to get out that way.
You should run out to Oaks sometime when they do the big 3-day ones out at Oaks. Those are huge.
Where's that? Oaks? Is that?
It's out by Philadelphia, just the east side of Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
They used to have a good one out in Monroeville, PA. Outside of Pittsburgh. I don't know if they still do theirs out that way.
I don't. That was like the gun collectors show or something like that. I don't know if they still have that or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never traveled for one really that far. I mean, drive a little bit here and there, but I've never made a whole big trip out of it.
Yeah, you used to get some really nice outdoor shows in the Monroeville area. I went a fishing rod the one year from one. They were.
That's cool.
You guys remember In Fisherman TV show?
Uh-huh,
They had their own room at the convention center out there in Monroeville, and they were doing raffles for door prizes. I won a Zeppo Ultralight from them.
You said raffle? Raffle like rifle or raffle like?
Raffle. You walk in with the door prize. You walk in and they stick it, and then if they called your number, you won the prize.
This is like, here, watch. Gunpowder, say rifle. She's sleeping.
I don't know if I want to participate in this.
Say rifle, like a gun. Rifle.
Long gun of over 60.
See? Raffle. See?
Yeah.
Raffle?
I'm not from Texas. I say rifle if I'm talking about a rifle. This was a raffle where you win a prize.
I thought maybe you were pretending you were from Texas.
Raffle?
Yeah, raffle.
Raffle. Like Bapple.
Bapple. Banana apple Bapple. Abe had a stroke. He's losing it.
Y'all suck.
No, I blow.
I want a fishing rod. That's all that matters.
If you got to lube your gun, you got to oil your raffle.
Whatever you do in the privacy of your own home is between you and Mia.
Mm-hmm. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I say we call it a night, huh? I think we had enough fun for one night.
Oh, it's your show. You can do what you want.
That's yeah, probably.
Yep, it is.
And Black Hat's here. I get to tell him a joke when we go off the air.
I know the answer to that one. If you want me
Yeah, I
to
bet
help.
you do. I bet you do. All right. So let's go down. Let's go through here. We'll say our
One of
goodbyes.
those things that freaks out gunpowder like the Japanese food did.
See, I wasn't
Hey.
there for that one. I
I
don't know
will-
anything about it. I
I
know
will
about
throat
it, but
punch you.
Oh, you missed so you missed all the innuendo going right over her head, right? Oh man, that was bad.
I wasn't there for that one. Weather, Grim 90's out there. He says the weather forecast for tonight, plenty of throat punches.
Not
Yep.
for me. I got to get out of jail free card.
Oh, how'd you get that?
Yep.
I was nice.
Nice raffle. There you
Earl. Pronounce Earl, damn it.
Earl.
Get Earl that
Earl's a
raffle.
person.
I
Earl's a
guarantee
person.
the Japanese food chat. She was wanting to throat punch me.
I heard about it. I just never got a chance to watch it. I don't know that I want
There's a
to.
lot of disturbing things on that chat that night.
So let's start.
Might be Bob.
The Japanese food was the worst. Vanessa Kitty came up with the worst one.
Hey,
I
it
hate
don't
you right
matter.
now.
It don't matter what is said in any chat on YouTube. It does not beat Bob talking about cutting pieces off of himself and feeding them to his dog.
Yeah, that was pretty
Oh my
screwed up.
gosh.
What?
Hey,
Ew.
cut his calluses off and
Okay
his
then.
dog.
It is Bob. I mean,
He is Canadian, and
and he isn't sure if his dog is a horse or not, too. Let's not forget that. If anybody saw the first Alan B. Pro chat.
well, Bob's a little slow sometimes.
One night he was talking about having sex with animals, and the next night he's talking about cutting pieces off himself and feeding them to dogs.
I think that was the same chat, and it was you who was talking about getting it on with the fur.
No. Gunpowder.
I was there, Alice.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Let's be honest
whoa,
here.
whoa. Why are you going to throw gunpowder out?
Because you was in there. So was Black Cat and Gary.
And you were there, and you and you.
And you were looking up some sketchy websites like 2 nights later on there, too.
Yeah. That's because you said, you need to check this site out. And I said, okay, I'll check it out.
Oh, busted.
That was a mistake. Ladies and
All
gentlemen,
right.
for
Because they
future
got first
when
there,
Black
'cause
Cat says check out a website, don't do it.
So let's get the hell out of here. Ellis, why don't you say your goodbyes? What's up?
Oh, let's see. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow night for my show. I really don't have nothing planned. I was going to do a special show Tuesday. Now I'm going fishing instead. So next week, Monday night, I'm going to do a show on mental illness and firearm ownership. Who decides what makes somebody so mentally ill that they can't own a gun? I think that's a discussion that we really need to have. Guys with PTSD, coming back from Afghanistan, Iraq, who being told that they can't own guns because of some mental illness that, this is going to be a very interesting show, to say the least, I think. And I'm probably going to end up pissing some people off.
Yeah. I mean, is there anybody that you know that you could have on the show that would be, professional in that field? Yankee was a psychologist.
He still is. He still has his license.
Yeah, he
doesn't
still has his license. Yeah, I think so.
He's just going to have every sheep in the neighborhood around him want to tell about how traumatized they are.
This is what I put up with.
In my opinion, the one that shouldn't be owning a firearm is the guy walking down the street talking to himself and then answering.
Well, yeah.
Sometimes you need to have a better. Never mind. I ain't even gonna finish that.
Nice try. So we're talking crazy talk on your chat tomorrow, right?
No, that's the weekend.
Oh yeah. Tomorrow we don't know what's going on yet. It's all right. You can always figure something out. There's always something new, something stupid will happen you can talk about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Earlier, I'm talking about the stupidity going on between Donald Trump and Dianne Feinstein. So something stupid to talk about.
There you go. Trumpstein. There you go. Bam. Trumpstein gate. Whatever. Make up something. I don't know.
Dianne Feinstein out there criticizing Trump for Russian collusion. Had a Chinese spy driving her around for 20 years.
Rich, you're up next. What's going on, Holmes?
Just got the show every Saturday night at 10 Eastern when we can have it or remember to or don't have anything coming up stopping it, which is why I did the show today because we were making up for it. And then got the thing going on Instagram at Unloaded Media _ Rich White. But, and everybody don't forget Rick up there. He's got his go-go going, trying to raise money so that he can give people like me who always win his quizzes nice prizes. So send him some cash if you can. I don't remember the link to it, but if you go watch his video replay from yesterday, he's got all that information there. And Stockman and his crew are still doing fundraising for people like C-Max and Justin's Final Mission, trying to raise money for them. C-Max has cancer, and they're raising money for him so he can pay his bills. And then Justin's Final Mission is to help veterans with suicide issues. So check them out, and if you can, maybe send them a few dollars. And then if you send $10, you get entered in a raffle, and you can win I think 5 different guns they have right now in their raffle. So that again, I don't have the link for it, but if you go watch Scottman's different videos and whatnot, he has the links there for that. So that's about all I got for now.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Patriot, what's going on, homie?
I don't know. Just living. I do have that thing we've been working on, but I don't know when that'll come out. Yeah, just check out gun channels. Always look up gun channels.
Yeah.
And check out Jimmy James, too, on Patreon. Trying to get him back, help out, and, call to work with gun channels and guntube.org. And everything else I forgot. So you put me on the spot.
There's a lot of cool stuff out there. No, that's cool. There's a lot of cool stuff out there. Yeah, GunTube's a big deal. Gunstreamer is really becoming popular. Jimmy's trying to get back in the saddle again. He's been poking his head around again, which would be awesome. Love to see Jimmy and Tony in the early watch, the early show. That was always awesome to have them in the mornings. So hopefully they can figure that out. Gunpowder, what's happening?
Not much for me. I'm just busy trying to get through this move and go through all of this crap. But go check out Tardot357. He has his Indiegogo campaign going for the Alien Gear holster. Go check out Gun Gals. Go check out Gunstreamer. And I'm totally blanking out on everything else. So it's been a very long day.
Yeah, I hear you. Man, me too. Gizzard, what's going on?
Well, not a whole heck of a lot, man. GizzardGary.com. Check out my website. join gun channels if you're not already a member. I'm pretty sure everybody out there in the audience is, but hey, somebody might watch this later. So, hey, join gun channels. Check out guntube.org. And by all means, subscribe to Midnight Range TM. One of the best guys on the tubes.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I'm actually doing really well, man. We're pushing 400. So it's really cool. It's like 380 something or other. Things are just creeping along. You know, I don't do anything in particular to really try and push or drive subs. You just kind of chug along. So yeah, I'm really happy. I'm getting last week I got a few. Last week actually 5 or 6 I think last week, which is cool. Frankie, what are you up to?
Oh, nothing much. Since Ghost Tactical's not in here anymore, he's got that thing going on Tuesday with James Hager. Might be fun to watch.
I was definitely going to mention that, yeah.
Yep, and then, of course, I'm going to also do the whole gun channel thing, so go ahead and check that out. You might find me in a lobby chat here and there. Hang out with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't go wrong with that. That's the best way to get started in chats, is to pop into one of those lobby chats, say hi, introduce yourself, and get into a conversation. Nothing wrong with that. And yeah, Ghosts Chat Tuesday, I'm really, really excited for. You know, Jaeger's going to be on the show. I'm really interested to hear how it goes. I hope it's I hope, and if we all know Ghost, it'll be a good, honest back and forth. I'm sure. You know, and I don't think he'll steer us wrong. I think it'll be good. I'm really excited to see it. Black Hat.
Yo. I don't really know what I got going on this week. I should have at least 1, maybe 2 videos out this week. Depends on how the weather holds out, if I can get to the range for one of my videos. Probably do a live stream. I don't know if I'll do it either Wednesday or Friday. I don't know. Depends on what's going on. My schedule's kind of up in the air. I'm on my way to work right now, so. And that's probably about it. So.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I would like to. I'm sorry, the worst timing. I wanted to jump on your lunch chat the other day, and little guy was, I don't know, I just had my hands full with the little dude doing lunch and playing, so it's tough. Jaeger on Tuesday. Check me out. Everything I put up on YouTube, I've been putting up on Gunstreamer and guntube.org. Check them out. Patreon.com, right? If you want to help the channel out a little bit, go over to Patreon. I've got a pretty solid little Patreon base going over there. I've got some people that have been with me the whole time, which is awesome. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get some videos out as best I can, with things being as crazy as they are. Try to do one food video a week. I got, if anybody has any suggestions or likes to see anything, let me know. I've been tossing around, maybe doing a couple of videos on some knife skills. How to hold a knife, some cuts and some simple stuff. Some simple things, literally as simple as maybe breaking down some fruits and vegetables, just because a lot of people get really skittish with some of the larger knives, and they just feel awkward. So I don't know. I've had a couple of people mention things like that. So if that's something that you guys think you would like me to do, let me know. I can do some stuff like that. Everything doesn't have to necessarily be a recipe or cooking. It could be like some demo stuff. So let me know if that's things that if you guys would find interesting. Let me know. Throw it in the comment section, and I'll start doing some stuff like that. The knife video the other day was people have asked me about knives a few times. So I'm going to hand it over to Ape. What's going on with you? Anything new and unusual? And then the outro, because it's the best one on Gun Channels, for sure.
It's the best one you can get for a undelivered sandwich.
That's true. Yeah.
It
was good though. It tasted good. That's what counted.
Yeah. I really haven't been doing too much for content or that. I have an idea on some weapon lights, and that is just a matter of getting everything together and then having the weather cooperate with me. It's rained here every day, so haven't really been able to do too much outside. So enough shameless plugging. Let's see what's live quick from Gun Channels.
G might be live.
Let's
do a van chat.
He said he was going to do. Might do one if this one started to suck butt, but I think we more blew chunks than anything else.
Yeah, well, he did take off a little while ago. So let's see. He left a little while ago, so maybe it started sucking too much for him and he took off. So he might be live. I don't know.
Yeah. So what's live on Gun Channels right now is Potatoes and Lev has an open live lobby. So anyone who wants to get their feet wet in Gun Channel's lobby life, go over there and check it out. So, ladies, gentlemen, and Jonases of all ages, thank you for watching Midnight Range TM's The Closer. Be sure to check out gunchannels.com for more Pro 2A content. This concludes our regularly scheduled programming, but we'll be back at 9:30 a.m. Eastern with the early watch, followed by more open lobbies throughout the day. Keep an ear out for Black Cat Outdoors, lunchtime and litterbox chats. Our Monday night programming at 8 p.m. Eastern, Clover Tax MOA Monday and Hawaii Volcano Squads locked and loaded. 9 p.m. Eastern, Never Enough Ammo's, a.k.a. Mr. Matt's Guns and Geeks podcast, The Week in Geek. 11 p.m. Eastern, the Outlaw Hatfield's Monday Night Shootout, and every weeknight at midnight Eastern, it's the Daily Gun Show. Remember to be on the lookout for Ellis the Degenerate, a.k.a. the Outlaw Hatfield's Late Night with the Outlaw. Also, check out guntubes.org as a free and unrestricted Pro 2A video platform. If you like what you see over there, go to Patreon, help them pay the bills. Check out 247gunshow.com. It's free to sell for gunchannel.com's members, and anyone can buy. And remember, a Slim Jim is candy, and keep your guns oiled and your chambers loaded.
That's right. Yeah, help G out if you can. Keep an eye on the Daily Gun Show. He's changing things up a little bit. He's sort of kind of reformatted a little. I think he was looking for looking for input. Check out the gear websites, buy some swag, keep G doing what he's doing. We all love what he does. So, let's give him a hand. And until next time, everybody out in the chat, thanks for watching. I will see you next week.